Alright, so the way I always do this is I just go through the move list real quick. My wrist is kind of killing me because I just played like 7 hours straight against my friend yesterday. And apparently this Itoki only fucks with my wrist quite a bit. So it's actually kind of swollen right now. This is gonna suck. I gotta hold the stick really weird. What's up? If anybody has any questions, it doesn't have to be in regards to Gigas. It could be anything. If I know it, I'll help you. If I don't know it, I'll probably look it up so long as it's not too time consuming. So, the one thing I noticed about Gigas up front is his movement is fucking shitty. Look at this backdash. He's barely taking a step back. And then he can't sidestep for shit. Like, if you want to see how shitty his sidestep is, I recorded this sequence for Dragunov, and most of the cast could sidestep this fine, but Gigas cannot sidestep this down forward one at all. And even if I were to do a slightly slower move than down forward one, 15 frames to the 13 frames, up close, he can only sidestep this consistently towards one direction. Every other character has no problem sidestepping this in either direction. So that makes things weird for him. I feel like if you put yourself even at slight frame advantage, any fast mids, Gigas ain't going nowhere. So that's one thing I know coming up. So this guy asks, I'm a noob. Are there different character archetypes in Tekken? I heard Mishima's Capos, but what are the other ones? Yes, there are archetypes in Tekken, but understand that it does not mean the same thing in Tekken as it does mean in Street Fighter. In Street Fighter, if you pick a character with a command grab, a grappler basically, then you'll know that it's a completely different experience than playing like a Shoto or a Kami or whatever, right? Because then the whole gameplay is like revolved around them being a grappling character. Tekken isn't quite like that. Tekken, everybody is essentially able to do the same stuff. Although Gigas is sort of a special case here because I guess they gave him so much range. Like his jab range is like the longest in the game. So I guess they try to like give him shitty movement but try to make it compensate by giving him the most range. That's about like the biggest differences you'll see in this game. You'll see shit like stances, capels, and stuff. What that really means is they have stances that unlock different moves that will shift their risk-reward around a bit. For example, if capels could go into a relaxed stance with frame advantage, it gives them access to a high-risk, high-reward 50-50, a low launcher or a mid-launcher. That's not like a super unique gameplay thing. Stances just means that, it shifts their risk reward in the sense that, they probably won't be able to block in a stance, but they'll have stronger offensive options in the stance also. That's really the way you got to think about it. It's not like a situation of, this character has a DP, this doesn't, although Akuma kind of changes that, I understand. But he's special, he's unique. He's about as unique as it gets in this game. But in regards to proper Tekken characters, Gigas is one of the more unique ones because, like I said, his range and his movement sucks. Everybody's going to be able to sidestep. Everybody's going to be able to jab. And jabs for everyone in the game except for Jack are 10 frames and +1 on block. So everyone in the game except for Jack could start their offense off of a simple one jab. And 10 frames is about as fast as it gets outside of a handful of moves. Only like 2 or 3 moves actually. Yoshimitsu's Flash, if you watch Harris playing Yoshimitsu, he's mentioned the Flash several times. Very short range move, but it comes out below 10 frames. I forget exactly how fast. And Ling Xiaoyu has like a move that's really designed as a defensive tool. It does very little damage, but she kind of just slaps you in the knee. I forget the input for it, but that's supposed to be like really fast too. I forget exactly how fast. But outside of that, it's typically going to be jab for pretty much the whole cast. So when you realize that, you pick a character, no matter who it fucking is, except for Jack, you already know where to start. You start with the jab, and then you go from there. Everybody's going to have some sort of good low poke. Look, I don't even know. It's my first time picking Gigas. I press down 3. I see a low poke already, right? I press down 4. He has the generic low poke there, right? So you can go from there, and then you got some sort of mid. Down forward 1 is always, not always, but most of the time it's some sort of good mid. Whether it's a poke or not, it's another story. Yeah, Gigas is shitty. So whoever you want to pick, just keep that in mind. Keep the jab thing in mind. Look for your pokes, and you can start from there, and then look for what your primary launcher is. For example, Dragunov, I guess since Marduk is not in the game, is my main right now, right? If you were going to pick Dragunov, I would say, other than the one jab, down forward 1, one of your primary pokes. Down forward 4, another one of your primary mid pokes. Down +2, one of the best low pokes in the game. So you could start from there. and then find the juggle off of this, and you're good to go. Work your way up, learn your lesson from that. And you know, you can look at the big difference in movement here. Dragunov can move around way better than Gigas. He has better sidestepping, all that shit, right? Every character has his king. If you pick king, jab, down forward 1, his down forward 1 is good, but it's a little bit slower than Dragunov's, but it has a good built-in follow-up, down forward 1, 2. And then king got armor, king's down +3. There you go. You got jab, mid poke, low poke, right? I learned Katarina. Down 3, or primary mid poke. Down forward 1, she has a really good down forward 1. She has extensions off of the down forward 1. And then she has a hop kick. Her go-to, king also has a hop kick. Her go-to 15 frame launcher. And then she has really good jab strings. There you go, you know? Everybody has that shit. No, Naranagi. Naranagi, shut up. I'm trying to focus here. So, the only argument I heard against him is weird hitbox is big body. He's beyond big body. Jack's a big body, but Jack could move better than Gigas. Gigas is like another level of big body. Let me see. Anybody else got any questions? Blah, 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 blah. Brazilian, sorry. So, yeah. I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, feel free to ask me to elaborate. Until then, we're going to look at the move list. So as far as I know, Gigas only has like a 1-2 jab, right? But he has one of the best 10-frame punishers in the game, it seems like. Yeah, look at that, 31 damage. That looks like a wall splats. And it has really good range. Look at that. Really good range. It is high, though. I want to see what this is like on... Let's see what the frame data says this is like on block here. According to the frame data, 1-2 is -14 on block. So it's not just something you can throw out. -14, a couple of characters can launch that. Dragunov cannot. So you're gonna be careful with that. I gotta change something. I'm sorry. I should put Gigas versus Gigas here, so I could test stuff like ducking, strings, and shit like that. The only problem I have with doing this is I'm gonna have to do 2 training sessions. I'm gonna have to go through this move list with as a mirror, and then after I verify data there, I have to go through it again, recording Gigas to do something on a regular size character to see what they can sidestep. That's what makes learning this character annoying. Alright, so according to the frame data, yeah, he's still got a +1 on block jab. His jab is actually +8 on hit, which I think is above average. That's pretty good. That's the other thing about every character's 1 jab. You always get a solid amount of frame advantage on hit, more so than most other moves are going to give you. So let me see real quick if I can find a 14 frame move here. Here we go. Start at 14 frames, his standing 3, according to this. That's a 14 frame mid. So it's basically like Marik's back 4 from before. Except it's just his left leg, and it's a standing 3. His is similar to Mardik, +2 on hit, and -9 on block. And on counter hit, it says it knocks down. Yeah, so it's pretty much exactly the same as Martik's, but with his left leg. I don't know about the tracking, though, so I would have to test that with a different character. So let's see if this is right. So that, yeah, punish, see? Does he have 15 frame on this list? He doesn't, but he has a 16 frame 4. That looks way too slow. Does he have a 15 frame move at all? Down forward 2. Okay, so that's -14 on the dot, his 1-2. Does it jail? Let's see if it jails. Alright, it jails. For those of you who don't know what jail means, you see that that's a high. When it jails, it means that you are unable to duck the second high when you block the first one. Like, if a string has a high built into it, usually you could duck the high. If you cannot duck the high, you're forced to stand block, it means it jails. It also means you can't sidestep either, but generally people use it to mean you're not able to duck the string or sidestep the string. So this 1-2 jails. So we got a nice little start there, right? I know that his 3 is just like Marik's. He has a 2-1. So it's not quite like a jab elbow like Martik's was, but let's see. 2-1 for him is -5 on block, +6 on hit. I don't know why you would use it. And let's see if it combos. Yeah, let's go back here. Guard all. Oop. Oop. Yep, that's a natural combo. I guess if you want to keep them standing, for some reason, you could use this, but I don't see any... Oh, wait, I see a reason to use it. He has a follow-up. Alright, so he goes into this. Okay. Oh, he does a standing 3. Does that. So he only has 2 moves out of that? I guess I'll find out when I get there. So 2-1 goes into that golem. I guess when I get there on the move list, we'll find out what that's all about. I went through his 3 and 4 already. Let's see, his 4 was 16 frames. Similar frame data to his standing 3, except slower in speed. But it says it knocks down also. I don't get that. If I were to guess, I would guess that the 3 would track to Gigas' left, and the 4 is going to track to his right. They're basically the same move, except the 4 is 2 frames slower. They do the same thing on counter hit. They 23. And the slower one does 3 more damage. This is 20. This is 23. But they're both -9 on block. Just a test. We're going to record, right? Oop, I ran into it. Yeah. So it's safe. And now I'm going to record the 3. Because sometimes the RB no way frame rate is a little off, so I like to double check most of it. But in this case, I'm going to bet it's right. Yep. Alright, so far so good. What are you looking at me here, Naranagi? This better be good. What is this? Like, I'll say this for later. I don't care about juggles or setups. I'm just going through his general move list right now. You're welcome, Necro. How long have I been streaming? I just started streaming. Let's see. So yeah, his standing 3 and 4, basically same move. Once again, 2 frames slower for his standing 4. So now we got this string, forward 2-1. If I'm gonna guess, it's the one that's like Marduk's forward 2-1, but he has a 3rd hit in it. Yeah, that's basically like Marduk's forward 2, but he does a jab after it. A 3-hit string. Let's see what combos. Oop, that was a forward 2. So that doesn't combo at all. Let's see the 2nd and the 3rd hit combo. I gotta get him way back. Nope. Let's see what happens on counter hit. He didn't do the 3rd hit. Nope. Wow, that's just trash. Let's see what the 3rd hit does on counter hit. Oh my god. He has so much range. This option is actually going to be useful for once. Where is it? There's a new option for counter hits. Counter hit. You can make multiple counter hits. So this will be useful to test this exact situation since he has so much range I can't make the rest of it with. So I got to turn off his stand block. I want to see what that 3rd hit does. So I want to turn off all of his guard. I'm going to guess the 1st hit knocks out, but... So the 3rd hit is just a general regular knockdown. Nothing special. If I were to guess, the 1st hit is going to knock him out. Yep, juggle starter. I'm also going to assume that the 1st hit tracks right. I'll test that later. So let's see what the frame data looking like for this move. Forward 2 is 16 frame startup, just like Marduk's. -9 on block, just like Marduk's, but only +7 on hit, which is almost as good as Marduk's. So, assuming this still tracks to his right, this is probably going to be a pretty good move for him. Let me turn off the counter here now. This is probably going to be a decent move for him to use for tracking, if I were to guess. Right? Forward 2 by itself. And then whatever the juggle is, right? Forward 2-1 is, according to this... Doesn't combo normal hit, right? Only -5 on block, so that's not too bad. And it is +6 on hit regardless of normal hit or counter hit. So I don't, since it's not a hook though, since he's just doing a jab, I'm curious as to how the tracking is. Because for Marduk, he would do a right hook, then the left hook with forward 2-1, and the left hook would track to Marduk's left and cause juggle on normal hit. That's what made the string so good for Marduk. So for Gigas, it's probably not going to be anywhere near as good if I were to guess, but that's the data on that. The third hit, forward 2-1. Okay. Yeah, forward 2. So the second hit was -3 on block. Sorry, I read the wrong thing. Forward 2-1. The 1 is -3 on block plus 5 on hit, right? It doesn't show any data here for counter for some reason. The third hit is -12 on block, so that's not too bad for just a knockdown built-in mid at the end of that string. But still, like, you know, all it is just like that little extra button to deter people from attacking you after they block the second hit. That's what that is. That's one of those, like, am I gonna end the string? Am I not? He could delay it pretty well. Only the first 2 hits, it looks like. Look at that. There's a lot of delay on the first 2 hits, but I cannot delay the last hit much. Yeah, so you have to commit to the last hit right away. You can't delay it at all. So far, so good. Let me double check the chat. It can break through power crush moves? That's a unique mechanic. Wait, what are you guys talking about? You talking about the rage attack, the run? If you're talking about the rage attack, the run, it hits as a low. So yes, it breaks power moves. So that's the forward 2-1 string. He has forward 2 forward 1? Ah, so he does have the old Marduk forward 2-1. You just have to hold forward. And look at that, it knocks out just like Marduk's. Nice. Okay, that's good to see. So he has 2 branches, forward 2 regular 1-1 or forward 2 forward 1. And then he has forward 2 down 1 like Marduk. Okay. Yes, King stole that move too. He doesn't have a forward 2 down 1 too, it looks like. Yeah, he doesn't. So Marduk had this mid right here. He had it if he were to duck this, if he were to duck that rather, he would do the down 1 and then he would have a third uppercut. And if the second one hits you, the third one launched you. Gigas doesn't have that little built-in mix-up, but this string does have 3 strings attached to it, three branches attached to it. So I guess that's how you're going to want to use this. According to this, forward 2 down 1 is -13 on block, force crouch. So Kazuya can launch this. It is -2 on hit too. Ugh. But he is able to go into his stance, and apparently this changes the frame data. It says that when you go into his stance on block, it makes it -12 instead of -13, but +3 on hit. Force crouch in both situations. So that could be good depending on what that stance gives him when I get there. So that's this string. Yeah. This is forward 2, forward 1 is also his tailspin. So it's cool that he has that, I think. So that makes this that much better, this string. Forward 2 is definitely going to be one of his best moves, I think. Just like it was from Marduk. Alright, so next we got forward 3. Ah, Marduk's knee. Little dash up knee. 17 frame startup. -13 to -12 on block. That's pretty bad. +5 to +6 on hit. And counter hit. This would launch for Marduk. This does not launch for Gigas. Okay. But he does have the forward 3-2 follow-up. And I think he could charge this. Yep. So it's one of those that goes into the run. So for those of you that don't know, if you've seen Gigas' rage attack, not the super, the rage drive, whatever, he just goes into the run and stomps. It basically gives him the same options that moves like this give. I gotta hold forward, I think. Yeah, see? And that run, he has either an unblockable high or a plus on block mid. And the reason you want to charge to go into that stance, make him guard all. Is it gives you the guaranteed follow-up. The only thing, if I'm not mistaken, the only thing they could do is parry, counter the punches. So just to verify that I'm not unable to jab that, I'm going to record myself doing it here. Wait, what are the inputs for the follow-ups? I got to hold forward for mad long. That's weird. Whoop. So there's the mid look like. I'm going to guess 2 is the other input. Ugh. It's a little awkward. That looks like an unblockable. Alright, I'm going to test it on the unblockable first. I'm able to jab that. I might have delayed it. Let me make sure I didn't delay it. Alright, I mashed it that time. Yep. If without any delay, I was unable to jab it. Yep. Alright, so let's try the other one. Let me re-record the other one. This is, the unblockable was 2. The regular with the mid was 1 out of the run. So this is forward 3, 2, hold forward to go into the run. Yup, forward 3, hold 2 to charge the 2, then hold forward to do the run, and then you press either 1 or 2. That's the input for this. I ain't charged that enough. I didn't feel like I pressed that early enough. One more time just in case. There we go. Let's see if I can interrupt this. Can I interrupt it with a jab? Good. That means that, yeah, like I said, if this is like kind of gimmicky though, right? This is one of those things that, this is why you want to research these new characters before, you don't want to go in blind, because if you didn't know this, you're going to be like, why the fuck is he charging that shit? What the fuck is coming when he runs at me? Let me hit a button and then you're just giving him a free counter hit. I don't know if he has a counter though to test the punch parries, but they are both punches. And just to show you, right? And then you launch them. Good shit. I'm pretty sure you can't sidestep it either, but I wouldn't be able to test that as Gigas. I would have to test that as another character. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I gotta take a peek at the chat every couple of minutes. Thank you. Now my hair is brushed back because of my headphones. That's why. Blah 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 blah. He also has a belly flop off for the run. All right, I'll get there when I look through the move list. Well, let me. Is there a way to do the run out of neutral? Let me see. There it is. Is it 1+2? If I were to guess. Yeah, that looks like you can interrupt it. I know from this position, face down, head towards, or face down in general, he has Marduk's down 2 or wake up 2. That. Wow, that was wake up 2 actually. Does he have the mid at all? Huh, he might not have the mid. Marduk in that position had a low that gave him a free follow-up, and the mid that was just advantage. Interesting stuff so far. Alright, next. So that was forward 3-2. Frame date on forward 3-2 without the delay, -13. It does knock down. Let's test if it's a natural combo on normal hit. Alright, so, wow, that knocks down on normal hit. That's pretty good. Marduk's did not knock down on normal hit. It kept you standing, but it did combo like that. And when you see that kind of, the cool thing about when you see this kind of shit, they're not able to stop that roll from happening. So when you see that kind of shit, it means that if they roll and they hit a wall, you might get something for free. That actually happens with Death Fist sometimes for Paul, and a couple of other moves. You might get a grounded hit for free. There's probably wall splats from kind of far away too, if I were to guess, because it sends him flying first in any rolls. I'd have to test that when I switch to a wall stage later. So this could be a pretty decent move. Unfortunately though, it's -12 on block, so it is a risk. But you know, this knee kind of covers some decent range. Well, okay-ish range. One other thing that worries me just visually here is his little shitty stubby legs. It looks like this mid would probably have a shitty hitbox. Like this is the kind of move where even if I were to hit him at the max range, like right here, any character, I feel like a lot of characters just ducking it, it would go over their head at max distance. This would definitely lose the AOP if I were to guess. You know? You can kind of see how high that's hitting him, where the hit spark is happening. Depends on the range. So this is one of those where if you're using it from a range, be mindful that it's probably going to be not so great, hitbox-wise. But I'm not 100% on that. That's just an assumption I'm having right now. I think you can do the run even without charging it. Excuse me. So that's another reason why that rolls there, I guess. He could go into the run, and if they were to tech, he could probably do one of his follow-ups, right? Yeah, and that's how far his run goes. I was holding forward the whole time to see how far that run goes. So it seems like if you don't have a wall, you won't be able to really do much with the run anyway. Yeah, see, you wouldn't get in range. Alright, good to know. Next on the list, forward 4. This is another one that you can charge, and it does the same thing, the same kind of roll I see. This is negative 14 on block. They both knock down the same way on counter hit and on regular hit, looks like. Boom. Yeah. Another way to get a mid-wall spot, I guess, but it is. Negative 14 on block means a couple of characters can launch you. Brian can launch you with Jet Upper. Electrics can launch you. Any electric. I think regular Jin's electric also, the Hook Fist. And a couple of characters. Most of the cast cannot launch negative 14, but negative 14, you're going to get hit with something pretty hard in general. General rule of thumb there. And plus 26 guard, if you charge it, it says here. With the same options, right? But just in case I'm going to record it, just in case, make sure it's the same frame data. Make sure I cannot interrupt both options with a jab. You got to be real careful with this kind of shit. Alright. Always double check. Yeah, that's all you gotta see. So there's that. Alright, so that's forward 4. Another one of those. Forward 1 plus 2. According to this, it's a throw? What the hell? It's a hit throw. A counter hit throw. Headbutt. Negative 10 on block. It looks like it forces crouch. Let's see. Wow, you have to like right on the dot, boom, boom, to punish that. So it's like Feng's palm, back one. It's a left hand. Feng's back one. It's kind of hard to punish because it's like negative 10, and you need to press it the moment it comes out. That shit is 10 frames, so you're reacting to a 10 frame move to punish frame perfectly. You know, when you see 10 frames if you come from 2D fighters, you're like, that's slow. No, don't think about it that way. Because moves animate a lot, like they take a lot more frames to animate than a 2D fighter. It means you need to be that much quicker to connect on a whiff recovery or anything like that. So reacting to negative 10 off of a 10 frame move, in the case of Feng's palm, means you have no margin for error. The moment you see 10 frames come out, you have to press your jab. Otherwise, you get that shit like the online setup where Feng players palm and they'll duck. And then you whiff your jab, and then he launches you with the fucking while standing 3 kick. That shit is annoying. So you want to be careful with that kind of shit. Kazuya's down forward 2, counter hit plus. Oh, what? Puts you in a crumple stun, right? Yes, it does, kitty. Kazuya's down forward 2 is 14 frame homing mid. But it is unsafe. It is at least negative 12. I don't think it's negative 13, but it is negative 12. At least. So whatever your 12 frame punishes. Alright, so far so good here. Let me go back to the frame data. Sorry, I'm going back and forth between my chat tab and my frame data tab here. So according to this headbutt on counter hit is a hit throw. Ah, the ogre, the true ogre. That's a lot of fucking damage. So the cool thing about this move, assuming it's the same as ogre, I will double check this when I still show a wall stage later, is if this happened in the middle of the stage and he took you to a wall, he would get a full wall splat into a wall combo. And that only at negative 10, that makes this a pretty good move, in my opinion. It is a 13 frame starter, so it's not that bad either. It's really fast. That's pretty good. That's even without the wall, it's a lot of fucking damage. Take a swig of water over here. On regular hit, it is plus 5 forces crouch. So yeah, that's a good. All right, the cool thing about this kind of moves, I talked about this before. Whenever you see a move that forces crouch and puts you at frame advantage, the one thing you have to remember, other than the frame advantage, is the opponent is only able to sidestep towards one direction when they're forced to crouch. Instantly sidestep, I should say. And that direction is the background. So in my case, if you were to hit me here, I can only sidestep left. If I wanted to sidestep right, I would have to perfectly execute a crouch cancel and then tap down. It's not really something that you see. Which is not something that people do. If they're going to sidestep, they're going to really sidestep towards the left. Or they're going to sidestep up and then tap back to cancel it. So those moves are really good. And another thing you want to think about when you see those moves, regardless of your character, like Jin has one of the better ones, forward 4 for regular Jin, is this big ass axe kick that puts him at plus like 4, I think, and it forces crouch on block. If you have from standing moves that track better towards one side, let's say Gigas, green Gigas right now, 2P side. Let's say his best tracking moves track towards his right, the background. That means that this is a much more better move when he's on the 2P side. Because then when he connects, if I'm sidestepping towards the background, I'm sidestepping towards his strong side. So, you know, when you see this kind of situation, think about that kind of stuff, you know. You don't need to find all that out right away up front. Just try to remember that this is a general rule of thumb here. Alright, so that's that headbutt. Cool move. Down forward 1. According to this, 14 frames, -6 on block, +7 on hit. So this is basically Marduk's down forward. Well, not really. Animation-wise, it's kind of like Marduk's down forward too. But not quite, because he's hooking sideways. Marduk used to just do like a little gut punch. But it's faster, so... It has a built-in follow-up? No, it doesn't. So that's just his generic mid-poke. No built-in follow-up, no special frames on counter hit. It is -6 though, which is not great for a mid-poke, but... Excuse me. That's the kind of character this is. They don't want him having a ton of frame advantage with pokes. But that this would be his go-to mid. Really good range on this thing, though. Let's see. 3 shitty Gigas backdashes away, maybe? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 2.5. Yeah. Yeah, about 2.5 Gigas backdashes in range for that down forward 1. If I were to guess, this might track to his left, but I will have to test that. So, just an assumption I'm making here. Then he has down forward 2-1. Yeah, this is looking kind of like Marduk's. Yes, that's exactly Marduk's down forward 2-1. This for Marduk was a counter hit string. For Gigas, let's see. Yep, looks like the same thing. Oh, mid high? Oh no, it's mid. It looks like that second swing looks like a high, right? Because he's just swinging parallel, like straight. Weird. Yep, counter hit, wall splat. Unsafe, right? So according to the frame data here, the second hit is -13 on block. This causes tail spin during juggles. Down forward 2-1. The first hit by itself, this -7 on block, +6 on hit. So about the same as Marduk's. Except Marduk's was -9, I think, but whatever. 15 frames to start. Oops, 15 frames to start up for this. All right. So it's a good thing that he has a lot of good plus frames on hit. Because then, anytime you're in like +5 to +6, this becomes a good frame trap. +5, exchanging with jabs isn't going to give you anything, but anything slower than a jab, he gives you the thing for free. I don't know if it's a counter hit confirmable. It is. You saw how much delay I put into that? So, unfortunately though, it's the same animation on regular hit and on counter hit. So you cannot confirm through animation. You have to counter hit confirm through visually seeing your opponent pressing a button after you press down forward 2. Right when you press down forward 2, if you catch them pressing any sort of button, any sort of startup, lay it in with the second hit. Just bam bam. Let's see what we got next here. That's down forward 2-1, so we're on the down forward 3. 13 frames to start up. So this is Marduk's down forward 4, but he does it with his left knee instead. So this is down forward 3. 13 frame startup, -9 on block, +4 on hit. So it's a little bit better than Marduk's. Marduk's was also -9, but it was only +2 on hit. So you can kind of use this as a bootleg-ass mid-poke. But just know that it's -9 on block, which means you're forced to guess whatever fucking mix-up the opponent wants to do after they block this. They can do whatever the hell they want to use, so keep that in mind. But he does have a deterrent. 2 deterrents according to this move list right now. He has down forward 3-1. Alright, so down forward 3-1, mid-high. If I were to guess, that does not jail. I'll check right now. This is only -4 on block. But it's also still +4 on hit. Does not combo on normal hit, as you can see. On counter hit, though, let's see. It does. Weird. Alright. I'm going to assume that doesn't jail. Whoop. There we go. I'll bet that doesn't jail. Yep. That's not jail. Alright, so he has one more follow-up here. Down for 3-1 plus 2. You can't delay that one. You cannot delay either option. You have to commit to either option right away. For both down forward 3-1 and down forward 3-1 plus 2. Let's see if that's a combo. Does not combo on normal hit. It probably does on counter hit. So here's another counter hit tool for you. That's a counter hit juggle starter. 13 frame counter hit juggle starter. Assuming he could convert off of that. I don't know what he would do to convert. There you go. And then you do like a tailspin, I guess. He probably has much better shit to convert. This is me working off the top of my head. Whoop! Not quite that. Well, whatever it is, I'm pretty sure he'll convert off of that for good damage. So that's really cool. Yeah, it's a 13 frame counter hit juggle starter. So anytime anyone's at their negative 3 or 4, well, negative 4 and on, it'll beat out jabs, obviously. But negative 3 is still good because anything slower than the jab is going to lose. Even putting them at negative 2 is pretty good for this. Because in general, you're not going to have to worry about mids much. So you still could set up ducks if you set them up to jab and shit. But on block, this is... This is negative 15 on block. It's mid-mid, but it's negative 15. So you're... we're talking about launch punish here. Let's test... I'm gonna bet that that second hit cannot be sidestep too. Oh, sorry, I wasn't blocking. Oh. What's his launcher? Well, whatever. This is 15 frames. We already confirmed that, and it punished. See right there on the left, the blue text punish. Let's see. Let me check the chat real quick. Let me catch up with the chat. Give me a minute here. Blah 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 blah. The step towards background thing went over my head. Can you recap that one more time? Let me see what the chat said. He's basically just saying that it matters which side of the screen you're on when you're considering coverage for sidesteps. I'm talking about sidestep towards the background. I was talking about moves that force crouch. One more time. Forward 1 plus 2 for Gigas. That headbutt, you see how it forces him into a crouching situation? When you're crouching, you cannot sidestep down towards the background. When you're when you're in a crouching situation, when you're forced into a crouching situation like this headbutt does, you're only going to be able to sidestep up towards the background. Talking about when you get a force crouch? Yeah, force crouch is what I was talking about. There are, alright, let me go over this one more time. There are moves that force the opponent into crouch, and there are moves that force you to recover crouching also. Both ways. When you find one of those moves that that forces the opponent into crouch at frame disadvantage, as in putting you at plus frames, my example was Jin's forward 4, the axe kick, the big ass axe kick. He gets like a lot of plus frames off of that, something like plus 4 on block. On block. Forces the opponent to recover negative 4 on crouch, right? That means that they can only sidestep towards the background. So no matter what your character is, if you have a move that forces the opponent into crouch and gives you frame advantage, one of the things you could consider is your character's tracking moves. In case you don't know what I mean by tracking, it means this move attracts my left, means it beats it out if they try to sidestep towards my left. It'll hit them. Or they could block. Sidestep cancels the block. But either way it goes, they have to worry about that move. If you have better tracking moves towards one side and a force on crouch move on block that gives you plus frames, then you will be more effective on one side than you would on the other side. In the example I was giving here, this green Gigas, let's assume his best tracking moves were towards Gigas' right. If he were to use this headbutt, not that move, this headbutt, it would be way better on the 2-piece side than it would on the 1-piece side. Because then they'd have less options to it'd be higher risk for them to sidestep up Yeah. That's the long of it. That's the long-winded explanation. Down 2 is his main launcher. Yeah, I noticed that. Yes. Alright. I don't know if he has any technical attacks. I do need some water, though. Sorry about that. Okay, so I was going over this move. So high risk counter hit move, and there's no counter hit confirmation here because you cannot delay it at all. So you have to come. So if you have a read that they're gonna press buttons at negative frames, you have a 13 frame mid counter hit move. Another thing worth noting is this is a knee. This down forward 3. Characters with counters like Asuka. Like normal counters. When I say the normal counters is like, what I mean is if you attack them, they'll grab the attack and they'll like throw you down. Not like parries. For normal counters, knees beat them, headbutts beat them, and elbows beat them. So if you see Asuka going, huh, and you got a knee move, knee her in the fucking stomach, or you got a headbutt, your Gigas forward 1+2 her, and then you'll force her into crouch. Or you can just wait for her, wait for her, and then the moment she leaves the counter, she's open to be fucked up, basically. Jin's parry, not the same. Jin will parry all that shit. Feng's Sabaki, where he like flails his fucking arms like he's Wing Chunging, that shit will still parry all that shit. So those are different. Those follow a different rule set. We're talking about regular ass counters. We're talking about dragging off back +1+3. We're talking about, you know, Asuka's back 1-3. Anything that's like a back 1+3, most likely. You know, most of the time. Jin's parry is also back 1+3, so not quite. So keep that in mind, because I know a lot of people fight Asukas, and then the lower tier, the lower level players that play as Asuka are always doing a And also, if you're a new player coming in and you're playing as Asuka, keep that in mind. If you're like all of a sudden getting hit out of the parry, the counter rather, that is why. Also, it loses to lows, obviously, universally. All right, so that's down forward 3. Down forward 3, 1+2. He has a third hit here. Boom! I think that's how you juggle with it on counter hit. This third hit, wow, there's no good frame data here. It just has -1. Alright, so I'm going to have to find out myself. Oop, that's not how you do that. Just mash that shit out. Ooh, is that a high? Did I see that right? Hold on. That's a high. That him swinging his fists up is a high. This is what I'm talking about fucking Tekken. If something looks like a high, don't assume it's a fucking high. You know what's another good example of this? Duck. There you go. It says -1 on Baki. I'll test it in a second. Another good example is Paul. He has this string out of back sway. He does like a low kick, a mid punch, and then he does like a big swinging uppercut. That shit is a fucking high too. You always want to check these fucking things. That doesn't look like a fucking high. How is that supposed to be a high? Why am I able to... This shit is like going right through my face when I duck. Look at that shit. It's going right through my face. Whatever. That is -1 though, according to this. It's safe at least. That's that much I can tell you. And it gives me some block stun. So you got yourself a gimmick here. You got yourself an interesting gimmick. So when you're fighting against Gigas, you have to know this shit. If he's committing to this 15 frame counter hit thing, you have to worry about the possibility of a third hit to cause some sort of hesitation. That's actually kind of annoying. That makes punishing this actually quite difficult. Because then you might have to, is he going to do the third hit? Then you duck, and then you duck and while standing launcher him. What's his while standing launcher? 1? Oh, 3? 3. So that would be the punish here. Oh. That's a really bootleg ass looking while standing 3. Oops, I ducked too early. Ducked the third hit. And then you launch. Yeah, so that's one of those that it's like, it's unsafe, very unsafe, but like it's with an asterisk. You know, this is unsafe with an asterisk. This is always going to be unsafe so long as you commit to ducking after the second hit. One universal way though, but it's going to be shitty reward, is if you have a high crush that's, let's say 15 frame startup high crush, that might crush this string. Like I could probably crouch jab, but that's like shitty reward, right? Let me record it again. I don't know what Gigas' crush was would be. But like I bet you anybody could universally get this so you get something, but that's shit. You want to really punish that shit. So if you have like a high crush, you could test it here. It might not work. It might not be enough frame advantage. Like that is a pretty big swing. So it might work. Because the thing about it is, high crushes, just like low crushes, sometimes you need a couple of frames to actually duck under highs. So whatever your character is, you would have to test. However you want to approach punishing this string. Like for Dragunov, I might just, I don't know what I would do for Dragunov, to be honest with you guys. Maybe instant while standing 1+2. If you have really good execution. You would punish the second hit with the shoulder, or duck over the third hit and punish with the shoulder. Yeah, I don't know. You might have to just guess because of that delay on the third hit too. That's some weird funky shit right there. Next on the list, down forward 4. Let me look at the chat real quick here. Nothing new, nothing new. I know I get owned by that axe kick. Yeah, man, no problem. Yeah, that axe kick is one of Jin's best moves. If you're a Jin player, forward 4, really, it's slow, but it's a really good move, especially on wake up. When somebody wakes up, they're forced to block it pretty much as long as you time it well. It pretty much keeps you in lock. So anyway, next on the list we got a down forward 4. Looks like he's kicking the shin. It's like Mick Foley's sweet shin music. According to the frame data here, 14 frames startup, only -3 on block, and +3 on regular hit, +8 on counter hit. Is there a different animation? Yes, there is. So this is like a couple of moves. If the frame data varies, or if it causes like or if it's a string where the first hit has to connect as a counter hit, you want to look at if there's a difference in animation, then you could verify. So this is basically, based on what I'm seeing here so far, probably his best mid poke. It's 14 frames, which is like great for a mid poke. You know, they could be as fast as 13 frames, and only in a few cases 12 frames. 14 frames is still fine for a mid poke. It's only -3, which is usually great, but it's probably still kind of shitty for Gigas because you can't sidestep anyway. So that is kind of unfortunate. So -3 isn't as big a deal for Gigas as it is for other characters for mid pokes, but still, it's a nice fast mid poke. +3 on hit, and then when you see this animation on counter hit, when he hunches over, you're at +8 frame advantage. So that's just one thing you might, if you're using this button, you want to pay attention to how it hits them. All right, well, he has an extension off of this. Down forward 4 into 1+2 mid. Let's see if this combos. No, it's a headbutt. 4, 1+2. Ooh, this is fucking cheap. According to the frame data, this forces crouch and gives him +1. But there is a delay, so let me guess. I'm gonna guess that I can interrupt this. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right. Look at that big ass delay. How much can I interrupt it? 13 frames? Let's try. I don't have a 12 frame move to try, but it interrupts my 13 frame move. So that's the gimmick here. So the reason that first hit is better frame advantage on counter hit is because wait, I had it backwards. I'm sorry. Yeah, never mind. It's just a good mid poke. Never mind what I was gonna say there. But either way it goes, yeah, that headbutt. No counter hit properties on that headbutt apparently. It's the same thing as regular hit, which is to say it's +5 forces crouch, right? Just like this does on regular hit. Whoops. And according to this, it's +1 on block. So this is a fucking cheap ass string. You could abuse this at a lower level, and as long as people aren't mashing jabs, you set yourself up at +1 or +5, whether it's blocked on hit or whether it's blocked or it's hit or it hits, and then you could react accordingly. What can Gigas do with +1 with force crouch? Well, one thing you got to realize, when you force an opponent to crouch, most of the time, their fastest move coming up will be 11 frames. There's a couple of cases of 12 frame moves, one of them being a universal crouch jab, but that's like, you know, getting hit by this isn't a big deal. It's only 5 damage. So all it does is it stops your momentum. But if they come up with like a generic while standing 4, which is not what Gigas has, but a lot of characters have generic while standing 4, that's 11 frames. In the case of Lee, he has a 10 frame while standing move, which is while standing 3-3, which goes into his infinite kick. So there, against Lee, you would have to be more careful, even though you have +1. But if they come up at, when you put yourself at +1 like that, if they come up with an 11 frame move, your jab is going to interrupt them, for starters. which is good. I mean, it's not a big deal because he doesn't have a counter hit jab string, and you probably don't want to just commit to 1-2. In that situation, if you're gonna jab, I would do 2-1 instead, I guess, for less risk. Does he have anything? No, he doesn't have anything else out for that. I don't know what else he could do at +1, honestly, so it's not that big a deal. It's nice. It's just a nice little bonus thing he has. And remember the rule from before, they can only sidestep towards the background, so that's a good reason to have that kind of move. And it is a decent setup for like knees, I guess, if they delay anything that they do. But I think when people are in the know, they're gonna opt to just block. If I were to guess, opt to block or sidestep towards Gigas' left. I don't think anybody's gonna be mashing. Any good players, at least, are gonna be mashing after blocking this. If I were to guess. So that's it for that string. That's cool though. Anyway, next is down forward +1/+2. This is a very slow move apparently. Very bad on block. Ooh, oh, so this is gonna be only as like a juggle ender. I've seen people use this. Don't use this in the neutral. This might be good Oki too, because this looks like it hits grounded. I mean, it'd be stupid if it didn't. Let me set the. I'm just gonna check just to be sure, because stupider things have happened in Tekken, but just turn not set, right? And let me just knock him down. Yeah, both hits connect. I don't know if they would always connect on the ground. How can I test that? I'll just record him doing it and then I'll test it. Let me turn that off. Yeah, I can't sec. So it looks like both of those, if the first one hits you grounded, the second one will hit. The reason I'm testing that is because Marduk had something similar back 1-2, and it was not guaranteed in that situation. So that's down forward +1/+2. In case you're wondering what the frame data is on that, it is fucking garbage. It is -18 on block, -9 on hit, and knockdown on counter hit. But then he has a third hit, which is also launch punish on block, so this is going to be... Right? So let's test that, if I could get out of that third hit. Yeah, it looks like that's all guaranteed. No, well, my health bar... You notice my health bar resetting? I mean, it's probably, that doesn't really mean anything. It's probably still guaranteed because I'm trying to get up and he's not getting up in any way. I'm holding back, no good. I'll let him hit me again. I'm gonna hold up now, nothing. I'm gonna mash to tech. Yeah, see, he techs afterwards though. So yeah, that's a good Oki tool. Just be mindful that people can tech and block that in a lot of Oki situations if it's not guaranteed. And when they do block that, you're going to get launched. So it's a high-risk Oki tool. But it's nice to have grounded hitting hits for Oki to go with a grounded hitting low. And I know Gigas has a grounded hitting low. So that kind of stuff is good for Oki. Let's see what the chat looks like right now. Any questions? Blah, blah, blah. So the only reason why he's actually shitty is because of his size and movement. Yes, Naranagi, I said that 100 times. He can't sidestep at all. Like I showed it off earlier. Dragunov, a jab, which is +1 on block, into Dragunov's down forward 1, which is 13. He was unable to sidestep the down forward 1 in either direction. Every other character in the game could fucking sidestep that shit. I think even Jack could sidestep that at least in one direction. Gigas cannot sidestep that at all. Dragunov's jab into Dragunov's back +4, Gigas was only able to sidestep down, right. And he was unable to sidestep to the left. Dragunov's back +4 is 15 frames, and he's only at +1. That's fucking really shitty movement. You're talking about 15 frames, you're talking about launchers. So you're saying anytime the character is at +1, he can't sidestep to 15 frame launchers? You know, like, or he gets mixed results? That's awful. What that means is when you're playing as Gigas, you're essentially playing 2D. You can't sidestep. Unless maybe you're all the way back here, and then sure, I'll sidestep. Because range does matter for that kind of stuff. But for fuck's sake, man, that means you could really easily bully this character. Marduk didn't really have that problem, at least not that bad. Marduk had an issue sidestepping towards his left because of how wide he was. But all it meant was he was still able to sidestep stuff like electrics, but it meant that he had a smaller window than a lot of other characters to sidestep it. So it was like hard to do. Harder than most characters for Marduk. But he still had movement, and he still had the size. Gigas has the size, but he doesn't have the movement. He has better range than Marduk, though, with these crazy-ass jabs. Look at that. That's like easily the best jab range in the game. So that's the trade-off. If you really want to play this character, I mean, play who you want. I'm a proponent of playing who you want, but, you know, you got to keep that depending on how far you want to go. If you just want to fuck up your friends, this character is clearly already, just based on what I showed off so far, he's full of shit that's going to fuck up your scrubby friends, and you could be the king of the hill in your block or whatever, right? But if you want to, like, actually, like, get better and improve, you know, and if you don't, that's cool too. Just play the game however you want to play. Have fun. But if you want to really, really, really get better, you have to consider that if you pick this character, this is something you're going to have to start dealing with at it. Not even the mid-level, the lower mid-level is when this is going to start showing up and becoming a really, really big issue for you. The moment you start running into people that like, oh, they're like semi-consistently punishing your bullshit, you're gonna realize how much of a headache you're really going to be in for. And it's going to be a rude awakening. That's how it always goes for Tekken players. It's a really rude awakening. You think you're the shit because you're hitting people with these fucking strings. You're putting yourself at plus whatever, and they can't do shit about it. And then all of a sudden, you run into somebody who's getting hit by none of that shit, and then you realize, I fucking suck. Believe me, I've been there many times, and I'm still there now. You gotta try to keep yourself away from the gimmicks if you really want to get good at Tekken. Don't rely on the gimmicks. Try to get good at the shit that you need to get good at. Get good at whiff punishing. Get good at moving. Get good at block punishing. You know? Get good at that stuff first. Then the rest could fall into place. Then you start looking at my character can handle these situations in this specific way that's better than any other character. Feng has all sorts of funky built-in defense into his moves. You know, I feel like he's actually a trap for newer players because Feng has all that built-in shit. So then he starts to overly rely on back sweep blow, up forward 2, which moves Feng to the left, and then he punches you in the stomach. It parries punches, all sorts of parries, Kempo step. It's like, at what point are you like playing? At what point do you stop playing Tekken and you're just playing Feng? You know, so you got to keep that sort of shit in mind. Yeah, forward 2 is Marduk's forward 2. I already went over this. I already think this is one of his best moves. Because it's just like Marduk's, but he actually has better, well, not better options overall, but he has 2 unique options out of it, while Marduk only had 1. Back to the move list. Alright, so the down 4 1+2 is what I talked about. So remember this. Good Oki 2, but high risk against people that know what they're doing. That third hit is -16 according to this, force crouch. Everybody's going to launch that except for Steve. This is 1 input, these first 2 hits, so you're forced to do both punches. That is -18 on block. And -9 on hit. Ew. Is that a natural combo? I might as well check that too. Nope. Not even a natural combo. And it's -9 on hit for the first 2 hits. So that's just shitty move and standing. That's a juggle ender or an Oki tool. That's what that is. Alright, so next on the list here is down to his primary 15-frame launcher. Not much to say here. Good range. It looks like it should have a good hitbox, but I've seen videos of this whiffing stuff. So I don't really know these days, but this is really, really, really amazing range. This is the kind of shit that Gigas excels at. Like, if he were to all of a sudden be considered good, it would be because people figured out how to really abuse his like distance, his spacing. I don't see that happening personally, but you know, this range is fucking nuts. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. No, not quite. So it's just similar range to the jab or whatever. 1, 2 back dashes. 1, get in the face. 1, 2. Cancel the third backdash, so about 2.5 backdashes maybe. I didn't get the last one. One more time. Yeah, about 2.5 backdashes, let's say. Gigas backdashes. Shitty backdashes. Alright, so that's your primary 15-frame launcher. -14 on block, so it is worse than usual. Usually 15-frame launchers, like down forward 2s and shit like that, the non-safe ones are only like -12. Let's see if it pushes back at all. Alright, it does keep them in place, and it doesn't move Gigas forward too much. So if you were to use this kind of like Jax, most characters will probably have trouble, at least a little bit of trouble, punishing it properly, if I were to guess. Like, if I were to guess, max distance block on this, most characters will whiff their jab punish. Just like Jax down forward 2, which is also similar frame data, -14 on block. So, that's cool. He has the Jax stuff. Alright. Next. That's down 2. Just in case you didn't catch that. Down +3. 16 frame startup, -12 on block, -1 on hit. So this frame data is similar to Marduk's down +3, except it's 1 frame worse on block. He moves forward quite a bit, which could be a good or a bad thing, because it is -1 on hit. That's probably bad for Gigas. It was great for Marduk because he could still move. Gigas can't fucking move, and Marduk didn't move forward like that. It was basically the same animation, but you see Gigas takes his big ass step forward. It doesn't have great range either, it looks like. 1, 2. Yeah, 1. Cancel. Axis. 1. Yeah, about 1.5 backdashes, maybe. But Gigas has a follow-up. -10 on block, force crouch. 0 on hit. Does not combo on normal hit. Let's see what about counter hit. This is down 3-2. Okay, so it counters a counter hit combo. And there is one thing that I saw about this. Let him lay on the floor. Yes, Marduk's down 3 did not hit grounding. This is probably your go-to low to hit people grounded. And he has that built in, but that's not good for Oki. It looks like, yeah, you don't want to use if you're gonna use the low for Oki, just use the low, like the down 3, and it does good damage as Oki. 14 damage that's solid. So like you basically have like a basic grounded hitting mix-up of this and this. So the reason you want a low option and a mid option for Oki is if they get up, if they tech, your low, they still have to guess between the low and the mid, depending on how you time it. Keep in mind that teching is invincible until they get up. So if I were to set this clown to tech right now, which is here, not here, it's here. So side quick row, this is tech. You could tech towards the right or the left. Control-wise, to tech towards the foreground is kicks, to tech towards the background is punches. So you just kind of mash it here. So let's reset him. So you see, he's gonna land. Oh, I gotta jab him in the air. That's why. Jab him. He techs towards the right background. So see, whiffed right through him. If I were to do it earlier, whiffs. You want to be careful with whiffs like that. Now, this might be a situation where the built-in follow would work. If you could react, if I were to guess, he would still have to block the mid. Let's see. Oh, I did it too early. He might be able to interrupt that mid. Either way it goes, that could kind of keep you covered. It is only -10 on block, and it does force crouch, apparently. Let's see. Record. Oh, I gotta hold back. Yeah, see? I was doing a while standing move. There's another thing you gotta know about Tekken, in general. So, Tekken has auto guard, right? Which means, like, I could just stand still. I block that mid. See? As long as that low doesn't hit me. There are things that strings that will break your auto guard if you're not holding back. This is one of them. If he hits me with the low, and if I'm not holding back, that mid is gonna hit me. But if he hits me with the low and then I hold back, it's not gonna work. This is especially important when you're fighting against Nina. She has strings that launch you, that if the first hit hits you and you're not holding back, she's gonna launch you with the rest of it. Like 3-hit string. She has like this 3-hit string that I don't remember the input for. It's very important, like, even though you have auto guard and even though backdashing, you don't necessarily have to hold back anymore while you're backdashing. They took that away to make it easier for new players. You have to keep that in mind when you start getting hit with strings. If you get hit with a string and you want to stand guard, just hold back, hold back, hold back. Okay? So keep that in mind. So I'm glad I saw that here. Either way it goes, that mid could keep you covered for Oki, it looks like, to go with the down 3. Let's see what chat looks like. Can you throw? I feel like he doesn't have any great mix-ups either. Can you throw? Throwing isn't really like a mix-up tool in this game because throwing is unbreakable on reaction. I'll show you how to do that later. Okay, good. The chat is like just watching. Good. I don't have to keep looking at chat. I can just focus on what I'm doing. Still, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. And every time I look back, I'll scroll up and answer them. So down 3. Good for Oki. Okay-ish low poke. Okay-ish. Like I said, -1 on hit is kind of bad for Gigas, especially since it moves him forward because he can't sidestep. For most characters, -1 on hit for a low isn't a big deal at all because they can move. Down 3-2 is... Oh yeah, I was going to test -10. So I don't know if Gigas has a while standing 14 frame move, but I could test -10 with him. Cross jab. Yeah, punish. So if he has I'll test all the buttons. So 1 is no good, whatever that is. 2 is definitely no good. 4 is no good. I don't think he has another frame while standing move. I'll find out when we get there. If he does, I'm gonna guess it's while standing 1. So that's down 3-2. -10, so Lee will punish that really hard while standing 3-3. Quick side note about Lee's while standing 3-3. I said before it goes into infinite kicks. Anytime a Lee hits you while standing 3-3, you have to guess. But you don't have to. If he does the infinite kicks afterwards, you have to guess. It's either a mid-high, if you block the mid and then you duck the high, or it's a low-mid, where you have to block the low and then block the mid. The low-mid, when you block both of them, launch, punish, ball, and block. The mid-high, you duck and you launch them. That's how you punish the infinite kicks. And the reason I feel like it was important to bring that up now is because that's a Lee gimmick. It's an effective mix-up when you connect while standing 3-3 for even a high-level play. It's a high risk, but an effective mix-up. But like I see Fighting GM do it to good players all the time. But it is also like a scrub killer or a noob killer, so you guys want to watch out for that shit. Not that you're going to run into that many elite players online. He's not that popular of a character. So that's down 3-2. Next we got down +1/+2. What is this? Ooh, that's his armor move. Whoop. So, interesting tidbit about armor moves. I mentioned that throws were not a mix-up, but if you grab somebody out of armor, they cannot break the throw. Regardless of what input throw you use, whatever. Grabbing people out of armor means no throw break, and I'll show you that right now. Let's see. If I jab into 2 break, right? Oh, I have to record it, sorry. That's a stupid looking throw. Jab into 2 break. And I have command capture on, so you'll be able to see this. Right? So, see? Look in the bottom. I'm pressing 2 over and over again. Right? I'm going to play. I'm just going to mash 2 after the jab. I break the throw. Right? Now I'm going to do the armor move. Ugh. Let me buffer it. No throw break. So, usually in Tekken, it's not like Street Fighter or most other 2D fighters, where if you get thrown at disadvantage, you cannot break the throw. You know, like in Street Fighter 5, those are what is it, 5 frames, right? If I'm not mistaken, in Street Fighter 5, if you grab somebody at -5, they're unable to break the throw. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong about that. But in a lot of other games, like throwing people that are at negative frames makes the throw guaranteed. They cannot break it. That is usually not the case in Tekken. So this is unique since this is a new mechanic. Completely unique to those moves. You cannot grab supers though. I do not know about the rage drives. But the rage arts, like the grab is going to completely lose out and the super will blow right through the grab. So keep that in mind. If somebody's abusing a power crush for some reason, lows also lose to it, you know. In case you want to see what that looks like. It's going to counter hit. Right. Did I record that properly? Just in case. Oh, the green Gigas. Oh, I did the low first, sorry. See? Just beats it clean, gets a counter hit too. So that's how you beat those armor moves. Anyway, down +1/+2 is his armor move, but it is -13 on block. Knocks down on normal hit. Boosh! And it's really slow. Is it? What is it here? 30 frames of startup, so it's a bad one. If it were to also crush highs, then I guess it would be alright. It does look like it would give wall splat on normal hit, though. I'll check that later. It's not that great. And he has this weird taunt bullshit that's also power rush. I don't know if I guess he thinks he's Street Fighter 5 Zangief here, like taunting and getting armor out of it. I really don't know how. Like, he can't cancel out of it. Like, that's about as fast as he could. So I guess it's like a bootleg parry. I don't think there's anything special about that. Like, it would still lose the lows. Yeah, see? It still loses the lows, which he's still going to lose the throws to. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. Let me check the chat. Let me scroll up now. Alright. I was asking about throwing using the +1 frame from Headbutt when you force him to crouch. Sure, throws could work. You said there was a bunch you could do with +1. Well, alright, throws, generic throws, the startup is actually 10 frames. Excuse me, 12 frames. There's only a couple of throws that are 10 frames. I do not know if Gigas' command grab is 10 frames. Here's, but now that you brought that up, there's something I want to talk about here in regards to throw breaking. So throw breaking, you guys might have heard, you look at the hands, right? That's a 1 break because his left hand is leading, right? This is a 2 break normally because his right hand is leading. And then 1+2, what's his throw? What's his 1+2 throw? Anybody know? There it is. It's a giant swing, 1+2. You see, if I can do it. So you see how both hands, that means both buttons are break. The only throw that breaks this rule is King's giant swing and some of King's multi-parts that he does out of the little hop or the crouch dash. Those two, those grabs break the rules and are either a 1 break or a 2 break. Giant swing being a 1 break. So one other reason I wanted to bring this up is for command grabs, you still have to input the corresponding hand. So in this case, he would need to break with a 1+2. So when you consider force crouch at +1, if somebody were to do a while standing move with a 1 break, if I were to do this command grab to set it up, they will not break it. The game would eat up their 1 input as their throw break. So throwing at frame advantage is kind of tricky because of that kind of stuff. Because you want to switch from pressing 1 break to 1+2. So like, I mean, I guess I could try to record it to show you what I'm talking about. Maybe they might have changed this and made it easier. I don't know. What was the headbutt was a force crouch at +1, right? Let me see if I can input this right. Yeah, it was that. Okay. Ugh, he recovers really slow, so it's gonna be hard to buffer this, to time it. Ugh. This might take me a few tries here. Ugh. Awkward ass inputs. Why can't it just be a forward 1+2? Ugh. Am I got that? Let me just make sure. It is a 2-piece side also. Is it half? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong. I was pressing half circle forward. It's half circle back. Oop. That's a really high damage grab, by the way. Right. See? I'll try it again. Ah! Alright. Okay. Okay. And eat my input there. Let me try on hit. Oop. Oop. Wow, it crushed. That was weird. Woo! That grab comes out. I think that's a 10-frame grab. Okay. So, never mind what I said. The thing is, they can still break it. So, I take all that back. As you just see. The throw break window was really small before. So, it would kind of eat up your input before. Here, I guess since the throw break window is really wide, that's not really going to be a thing. It could still be a thing because they have to, like, recover that much faster and input the 1+2. But the throw break window is too wide. Let's see. How do you turn on command capture? How do you turn on command capture is in other settings? Display settings, yeah. So that person's right. Right here. It's on top. Blah, blah, blah. Could you parry a slash kick? No, you cannot. Oh, you could parry it actually. Like Jin parry? I think you could parry. I'll double check that later. Remind me, Doomshine. You cannot counter it though. Gigas will get some buffs in the future. Maybe. I don't know. You just made Leo, blah blah blah. I think Dragonov's Victor throws the reverse breaks too. Half circle forward does hella damage. One splash best blah 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 blah. The damage on his air throw though. Okay, so Naranagi plays Leo. Alright. So what move was I up to? Oh yeah, I was looking at the stupid ass armor move. Yeah, that shit seems shitty. I don't know. It's a cool taunt though. If you want to taunt people after beating them. Maybe somebody will figure something out with that. Down back 2. This is Marduk's quarter circle forward 2, but Gigas, it works completely differently for Gigas. It is launch punishable on block unless you're Steve or Hwarang, because it's negative 15 low, so they have to come up with a while standing. It is only +2 on hit. But on counter hit, he gets a juggle. He gets like a mini juggle. I don't know what the juggle is. And it crushes highs. Marduk's, in my opinion, was way better because it was... I'm not going to go too much into that. But yeah, Marduk was better in my opinion. But he does get a counter hit mini juggle out of that. So keep that in mind. But it's high risk. High risk, okay reward. And it's an easier input. It's only down back 2. Marduk was quarter circle forward 2. Yeah, so he crushes highs. Alright, cool. Next we got down back 3. Oh yeah, also Gigas recovers crouching off of that, apparently. It says here tech crouch. Oh, he doesn't. What the fuck? Why does it say TC? Whatever, I'm ignoring that shit. It's oh, the opponent recovers crouching. That's why. Oh yeah, he definitely recovers crouching when he gets hit by that. Alright. So that's one of those that on hit +2 opponent recovers crouching. Remember what I said. You need a hit though in this particular case. Down back 3. Down back 3 is basically Marduk's old sloth kick, full crouch down forward 4, but with his left leg, and he does it instantly from standing. So this is more like King's down back 3 essentially, which is to say it is high risk, really high risk. It is negative 25, very high risk, but you get +6 on hit, and you recover crouching. They recover standing. Oops. Yeah, they recover standing. You recover crouching off of that. But you're at +6. It does not knock down on counter hit, though, so that's shitty. Wow, that's fucking trash. Apparently, it's also +6 on counter hit. For King, that's a counter hit juggle starter. For Marduk, on counter hit, it gave a knockdown and a free follow-up. So it's a lot shittier. For being negative 25, at least, apparently. Ooh, look at that. Up forward 3. Ooh, you can do that. You can even do this. Oh, missed it. Oh man, is it down 2? Wow, I can't crouch cancel the down 2 for him. Weird. Why can't he crouch cancel down 2? Whatever, I'm just trying to show off. Fuck it. So that's really bad on block. Down back 4, let's see what we got here. This is a much faster. CS4? What the fuck is CS4? Whatever. This is negative 13 on block, negative 2 on hit. Here we go. This is a good. I like seeing this kind of stuff. So a lot of characters have, well, everybody has like, well, just about everybody has like a high crushing low poke. Gigas has a unique one here. This is down back 4. These are always pretty good. Not as good for Gigas though, because he always puts you at negative or normal hit for the most part, except for Dragonov, which is even on hit, regular hit. And Gigas being at negative, like I said before, even at -1 is really bad, in my opinion, because he can't fucking move. So the opponent has free reign to attack, but it is a way to get 8 damage, I guess, if you want. And it is only negative 13 on block. It is +3 on counter hit. Let's see about the animation. So we got that. Yeah, there you go. Different animation for counter hit. So yeah, +3. It probably crushes highs, right? Just to check. Yeah, see, high crush. So there, you got a high crushing low. I would use it as a round ending low. I think that's how you pick up off of this shit. I think that's how I've seen people pick up off of that shit. Right? Maybe not. Maybe it needs a dash. Nah. It does hit grounded, apparently. Let's see. Nah, fuck that. I'm not even gonna check. If you want to use a ground and low, use this shit. Don't use that shit. That shit's trash. Look at that. 8. What is it? You got 18 damage versus 8 damage. Fuck that. Garbage. Down back +1 +2. Ooh, really slow. Oh. That probably crushes highs. I'll check that. This is a juggle starter, and according to mid, is it mid? It is a safe mid juggle starter, according to this. Really slow though, obviously. First, I'm gonna see if I can crush it. Okay, no, it doesn't crush. Yeah, no punish. No punish. It's hitting him, but you don't see the punish. I guess I should just show it off to be sure, right? Holding back now. See? I'm trying to jab in later frames, see if he does duck at all. Yeah, see, alright, it does have some crushed frames in the middle of it. But it isn't. You're probably going to need a lot of frame advantages to actually make those crushed frames useful. Because in general, if you just try to make people block, ooh, it worked there. But if I, yeah, see, and this might be a Gigas thing. Like some characters' jabs might lose. It seems like if I delay my jab at all, I'm going to get hit by that. Interesting. It is a safe mid, but it is slow. That's going to be a noob killer. It's what is this? What does it say? Negative. Yeah, it's almost 30 frames to start out, so it might not be a real noob killer because the mashers are gonna hit you out of it. But interesting move. Down one. That's just his way of going into crouch jab from standing. This is also 10 frames. Rule about crouch jabs, in case you don't know, is they are special mids. They can be low parried, they can be low crushed, but they can also be blocked standing or crouching. But they crush highs fairly quick, so it's just generally a good defensive tool. But it is high risk, and they generally don't track at all. So against good players, if you abuse this too much, you're going to get fucked up. So be careful with that. Don't overly rely on it. It'll stop the momentum of a lot of bad players. But really good players will really blow you up for using this too much. But yeah, that's just a generic. Down one is a generic crouch jab. Where am I here? Back, oops. I'm lagging here. Back +1. Woo, he has Marduk's down forward 2 as back +1 here. What's the frame data looking like? But his is 15 frames. Marduk's was 16, but his is launch punishable. Yucky, yucky. Let's see here. Oh, what am I doing? Why am I interrupting? I'm sorry. Yeah, launch punishable. That's interesting. Am I slow? Because that's not 15 frames if it's being interrupted. Woo! It crushes. It is launch punishable though. So you got a high risk. I guess this is a high risk fast version of this. If you want relatively less risk, you can do that instead. If it's like Marduk's, it also probably tracks well to his right. I'll check that later. To his left, sorry, not his right. So that's back one. Back two. Ooh, this is one of his charge ones, isn't it? Yep. It's another charge move. Back two without charge, knocks back, and it's -12 on block. And then the charge, I'm gonna guess is the same, but just in case, we gotta test it. Oops. Oh, wrong button. I don't think I fully charged that. Let me make sure. Just in case, I'm doing this one more time too. It seems like you could only sort of charge it. That might make the frame data variable. I don't know. Yeah, okay. So I'm interested in that partial charge now that I noticed it. Yeah, that partial charge doesn't give you the frame data. You need to fully charge that shit to get the enough frames to interrupt jabs. Anything going on in the chat? Let's see. Why did Harris get rid of Marduk? By parry. Oh, the Gigas flex? Okay, let me see. Could you parry a slash kick with that? Alright, Doomshine, I will be unable to test that with this character. I will test it later. The parry, you mean the armor move. I'm gonna assume yes. Because armor moves is absorb attacks. Like, why wouldn't it? And you would take a lot of damage, though, because armor moves, you take bonus damage when you get hit in armor. Let's see what we got here. Gigas sucks. Buff Gigas. This character sucks. Bloodhawk is the Gigas master. Gigas down 3+4 takes. He takes less damage, so it's unique. Interesting. How much less damage? Alright, did I not? Oops, I fucked that up. I wouldn't see the number here, would I? I should record him doing the armor. So let's see. This is 13 damage. 6 damage. Wow. Almost half. That's pretty cool. So maybe there is some usage for that if you have a really hard read you want to make. You can do 100 damage with a punch in real life. Most people can. Alright, let me get back to the move list here. Where was I? Making me lose track, people. Fuck. I was at back 1. I did that already. Back 2, right? So yeah, it's another one of those charge punches. According to this, back 2 is negative 13 without the charge. Back 3. Ooh, this is Marduk's back 3 pretty much. This is a really slow running mid. Negative 9 on block, knocks down. Let me just make sure it's negative 9. Yeah, it's probably negative 9, so it's definitely safe. All right, next, and this is pretty linear. I don't think this tracks at all. I guess it's like a long-range running mid punish. I don't know, with a lot of pushback. You could wall splat with it. Back +4. Ooh, he's got the stomp. Any built-in follow-ups? No, there's no built-in follow-ups. This will probably be all right for Oki. According to this, it is +1 on hits, forces crouch, -9 force crouch on block, and knocks down on counter hit. He might get something for free there. I don't know. Maybe nah, that's just me being greedy. That's not guaranteed. Oops, wrong button. Maybe that. Nah, that's too slow probably because he's on the verge of getting up. It looks like he might get something here for free. I don't know. According to this, -9. I'm just gonna test that. Okay, no punish. Alright. So that stock could be a decent Oki too. Bloodhawk, does he get anything on counter hit? Or last time the opponent tech or anything, but yeah, I saw that a few months ago. Bloodhawk, does that stomp give anything on counter hit for free? Do you know? This, not that, this back 4 shit? Because if it does, that could make it a really good Oki tool for people that are matching wake-up kicks, I guess. And it'll hit grounded, I'm sure. I mean, I probably shouldn't even really need to have to check this, but I will anyway. Ooh, it keeps him right in front of him, too. That's actually really cool. Most stomps and, like, grounded hitting moves knock people away. This shit, like, bounces him off the floor and keeps him right there in front of him. I wonder if you could tech after that stomp connects. You can do another back 4. Ah, that's pretty cool. This actually might be way cooler than I thought. Alright, let me record it. Can you tech off of the second one? Yes, you can. Okay. So you could just get up real quick off of the second one. Whoops. Let me see the damage on that. Oops. I keep pressing forward 4 because Marduk's stomp like that was forward 4 hardwired into my memory here. Sorry. This is back 4, damn it. 16 damage plus 24 damage. So you're getting about 40 damage there. Exactly 40 damage. It's pretty damn good, I guess. Not amazing, but solid. And that makes it that on counter hit getting another free stomp makes it pretty damn good for Oki. So you have another good mid hitting Oki tool there. Back +1 +2 +1 on block. Wait, isn't that back 2? Oh, okay, there it is. Ha! Big ass headbutt. Somebody else had this as a move, didn't they? I forget who. This looks familiar to me. According to the frame data here, +1 force crouch yet again on blind. So this is the same as this. It's basically the headbutt by itself with the same frame data. This is back +1 +2. +5 on hit and counter hit. +1 on block. Forces crouch. 25 frames to start. Wait, the startup is... Yeah, the startup is 25 frames. So it's kind of slow, obviously. That lean back might make it something that you could use out of backdash, maybe, but the range is kind of shit. Range is alright. But, like, that lean back, if I were to guess, might make him dodge some stuff. Why not test it, right? How can I test this? Let's make him block a jab at a distance. Well, no, definitely not that. Yeah, not quite that. That's gonna be way too good of a hit. All right, so if you're like a regular sized character with regular ass jabs, that lean back might make him avoid some stuff. You'd have to test that though. Unfortunately, on Gigas, he's not a regular character, so can't really test that. So that was back +1 +2. What's next on the list here? Up forward 1. What the fuck? That is barely a jump. Hop elbow over here. Force is knocked down on regular hit. -9 force crouch on block. Wait, what? I don't have counter hit on. This frame data is wrong. The frame data here says it's +1 force crouch on regular hit, but it's knocking down. So maybe this was buffed. I don't quite know. Yeah. So same thing on hit and counter hit. Excuse me. Let's test it on block. Yeah, it does force crouch on block. Crouch jab does not work, so it is safe. Not much range though, and that's a big ass whiff. That's a huge whiff. Yeah, I don't know about that move. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Marduk, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's why I'm double checking most of this frame data. It is the Norway frame data. Also, I don't think it's been updated since the console release. So, like, when I went through Katarina's move list, I was double checking pretty much everything. And then I found quite a few things that were off. Well, no, I'm making it sound like there was a lot. I found about maybe 3 or 4 things that were off. Most of it was still good, based on my testing. So that's a forward 1. I don't know what you would do with that. Maybe that's a decent hard knockdown too for a juggle. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that kind of leaves him right there in front of him. It probably breaks the floor if I were to guess. So that's one thing worth testing. I think it's kind of cool that it leaves him up close like that though. So that could be where that too would be useful. Now we got up forward 3. So this is basically like a really weird ass version of like Marduk's up forward 3. I should stop comparing him to Marduk. This is actually a unique enough animation. We got this weird ass looking hop knee. This is like one of those moves I see a lot of Gigas players use. On counter hit, he gets a juggle. And I don't know how good of a low crush it really is. Let's just record jab and sit down 3. It's probably a reliable low crush. Yeah. What's the frame data on hit? It says +3 on hit with a question mark, so I should probably test that. And it says -3 on block with a question mark. Alright. The knee was 13 frames. Okay, the down forward 3 was 13 frames, right? No, jab. We exchanged with a 13 frame move. So yeah, -3 seems intact. Assuming that knee is 13 frames. So I'm not 100% on that. +3. So now record him doing the knee, right? Yep, +3 on hit. Assuming that knee is 13 frames once again. So that seems intact, and juggle starter. So that's what that knee is all about. -3 is alright, but you're not going to be moving at all. You're going to try to backdash when that's blocked. How is it, does it have any sort of push block? Let's see. Stand guard. Is there like a way to space this to get some distance here? Yeah, looks like, what about up close? It looks like if they shallow block this, you got some space you could create here. So it's not like, you know, it's a pretty good move for him, I guess. Yeah. So you can work with that. Forward 2. Oh no, I skipped the move, sorry. Up forward 1+2. Oh, the body splash. Plus question mark on block. If I were to guess, it's because it's variable. Why is the computer backing up? Oh, because stand guard, that's why. That looks so stupid. Especially because it has all this startup. Oh my god, that is so cool and so stupid at the same time. Alright, let's have him get up. So that... Interesting move. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you guys how to use this. Maybe I saw Bloodhawk when he was streaming set up the boosh with it, right? But I don't know if he has a mid in that situation. Does Gigas have a face down head towards mid? Anybody know? Let's see what's going on in the chat here real quick. Blah, 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 blah. Me as a robot, blah, blah, blah. Best round finisher, maybe. 1+2, there we go. Thank you, sir. Woo, that shit is mad slow. What does that do on hit? There's got to be a better way to put him in that position than that. Didn't I find a way before? Oh, I could just do the reset stuff, right? Reset. No, not this. Player direction, not that. Player status. Down, face down, right? There we go. Good shit. I'm glad that they added this. It's a knockback. What's the frame data on that? Can I use this with record settings? Let's see. I probably can, right? Useful. Look at that. Oh, no, don't get up. What are you doing? Now I'm in control. No, I have to reset. How? Do I have to, like... Oh, that the pause before he gets up? Oh, come on. Stay down. I guess I'll just do the fucking blocks. I'll have to do this the slow way. So this is what that was the low. Let me buffer it. No. Okay. So what's this like on block? Yeah. That, like, even if that was bad on block, it does like a block stun and it pushes back really far. But it is slow as shit. What happens if I back one? Let's see. You got a full launch. So it's like Marduk's like wake up punches, where if you hit him out of it, it would give him a full launch. It wouldn't just like hit him grounded. So you got to be careful with that because that shit is slow. This body splash, it doesn't even seem like it gives you enough frames for that mid, but it probably does for the low, if I were to guess. Let's see if I can interrupt the low. Ugh, I'm having trouble on this stick hitting 1+2s and 3+4s. I gotta align myself. Still getting used to this stupid thing. Oh my god, come on, Manny. Alright, so... Wow, at least the low doesn't get a full launch. Why does it delay it a bit? Yeah. So I guess it's just gimmicky. Like, If people don't know that you're going to be grounded and they try to swing at air, see, they're going to get hit with the follow-up. Also, that doesn't... The low doesn't knock down on normal hit. What about on counter hit? On counter hit, he probably gets a free follow-up, if not a free juggle. I guess it's also a bootleg Oki to him. Can he tech after he does it? Probably not, right? Yeah, no, doesn't look like it. He could side roll. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this move's really about. Weird move. Maybe if you catch him off of wake up, you get better advantage. Maybe. If you catch him with the later frames, maybe. If you hit him grounded, what exactly happens when you hit him grounded? They're right in your face. So if you hit him grounded, then I guess they're forced to like tech and eat the mix-up. The low would hit him, right? Does the mid hit him? So stupid. Alright. Does the mid hit grounded? No, it doesn't. So the low hits grounded. What's the damage on the low? 16. That's just good damage, I guess. Still. Alright, well. It probably breaks the floor if I were to guess. You know what? Let's change the scenery here. Sick of this music. How far along am I on this move list? I wish these were numbered. That was up forward 1+2. Yeah, looks like I'm almost at the throws here, am I? Or GOL, golem stance. So the golem stance, yeah, I got about, looks like I got a couple of forward moves, dash moves basically, and then I got his while standing moves, and then his sidestep. He has a sidestep move apparently, full crouch, and golem moves. So that was up forward 1+2. Let's test the ground break. Let's see. Oops. No. Go back. Okay. Nope. I don't think anything does in that situation, does it? Like I said, high risk, but it does floor break on Oki. So that's a cool use for that. Does this, the second hit do anything? No. I don't know, whatever you would do in that situation. Maybe down forward. Keep in mind that this is weird right now because his head is towards me. What the hell? We're downstairs? Are we downstairs right now? Restart settings. Default position. No, we're not downstairs. So why are you not... Why is the floor not breaking? Isn't restarting supposed to bring us back upstairs? There it is. That's weird. That's a separate option. I like that they call the gimmicks restore to default. That's kind of funny. It's got to load though. Alright, taking kind of a while here. PS4 people. This is taking a really long time. It's basically loading the fucking match again. Holy shit. Oh, the first one broke at that time. That's interesting. Oh, there you go. You do whatever. And what about the body? What about the body splash in this particular case? I'm just gonna do it that way. Oh no, it didn't. Sorry. Okay. Down 3-2 didn't do it, right? No. Okay. Stomp. Nope. Does it load quicker here because we're only on the second floor? Nope, it's going to take its time again. Okay. Alright, so the next move when this is done loading is up forward +3 +4. Ooh, Marduk's jumping stomp. Now, I will check this. One of the cool things about Marduk's stomp, when he had this, and I'm going to hope it's the same for Gigas, this actually crushes in the really early frames. Like when Dragunov used to hit Marduk with 4-1 and put us up to +8 and do a 15 frame low, Marduk would be able to jump over it. That's how good of a low crush it was. Seems like it does the same thing. Floor break? No. Okay. Only -3 on block force crouch, +7 on hit force crouch. Nice frame advantage. Good chip of damage. Hits grounded, obviously. Let's test the block. I gotta look up his while standing. Okay, he has 15 frame while standing. +4. Damn, everything is 15 frames. What the fuck? He does have an 11 frame while standing, but yeah, like I guessed before, it was while standing 1. That weird ass little shoulder. That's good to know. It did look that fast. That's why I figured. According to this is -3. I don't have any 11 frame moves, do I? But I have I'm having a brain fart here. No 11 or 12 frame moves. While standing 1 should exchange. No, it shouldn't. 14 frame? Does he have a 14? This was 14 frames, right? Okay, now I know how to test this. Wait. Okay, sorry. Hold on. My brain is not working right now. I've been at it for a while. Sorry. The force is crouched, though. Force and crouch, 11 frames. Oh, lordy lord. So the one... He needs to jab. The one waking up with a 12 frame move. Alright. I'm not going to test this for now. I'm just going to go with... It says -3. I'll at least test if it is some sort of like huge disadvantage here by doing this into a jab. I'm not going to be able to test the exact frames at the moment. Yeah, see, so it is at least that much. We exchanged. So if my jab is slow, that might be -4. Assuming that really is assuming that knee I just did was 15 frames, as it says here. We don't know if that's right. Let me just record this one more time, just in case. Oops. Yeah. If that knee really is 15 frames, then we're talking about that jumping stomp being -4 on block force crouch. It might be variable because he is like doing this crazy ass animation here, and it does hit in different like levels. But not too sure about that. What else we got here? 442. Let me just check the chat real quick here. 50-second load times if it has to refresh the gimmicks only. Of course GM is gonna play Lee's in the game. Are you kidding me? Alright. Back to the action. 442. Looks like it should be a good whiff punish. Does it do anything on counter hit? No, it just has that cool little freeze effect. Oh, it has that freeze effect either way. I like that freeze zooming effect. According to this, frame data, -13 on block. It might push back, let's see. It pushes away from his 13 frame punish, at least. So, if it is, it might, yeah, it probably is -13. I'll have to double check that with another character, but it is at least -10. And it does a lot of pushback. Is there a way to make it a shallow block? How far away can I block this, really? Yeah, okay, you could totally make it a shallow block to make it safe, because if Gigas isn't jabbing it, nobody's jabbing it. Interesting. I wonder if Gigas can sidestep it. Oop. He ain't getting anywhere. Dash moves are hard to sidestep in general, so, and Gigas ain't gonna be sidestepping shit, no matter how good I time it, probably. Forward, forward 3. A nice little quick mid, knockback mid, huh? Counter hit, let's see. Wow, that's a good move, probably. It is, unfortunately, negative 13 also. According to this. Whoop. Not negative 13. Once again, we're assuming this for this knee is 13 frames. It is negative 10 though. I don't know if I have any. I don't have any 12 frame to punish to check punish. Let me double check 2-1 again just to make sure. 2-1 is, according to this, also 10 frames. Yeah, no 12 frames. No 12 frame high. No 11 frame high. I'd have to switch to like Kazuya. Oh, this is his while standing is 11 frames. So, assuming that this is like even at negative 12, this is a pretty good move. This is a pretty damn good move, I'd say. An advancing knee with a counter hit juggle starter. That's pretty good. And forward moves realigned, so assuming that it has 0 tracking, it would at least force the opponent to change up their sidestep timing. So that's a nice little bonus on that. So that's forward 3. Forward 4. Wow, this is the one. This is the is he gonna do the second hit? Is he not gonna do the second hit move right here? I mean, nothing special on counter hit by itself. By itself, according to this, is negative 8 on block, plus 3 on hit, and it has no frame data for counter hit. Is there any different animation? No, it looks like the same animation. This looks like the kind of hitbox that would hit AOP. I'd have to test that, obviously, but... so then the follow-up is forward 2. Now, does this combo on normal hit? My guess is no, but let's see. Yeah, so that's definitely one of those, is he going to finish it, is he not going to finish his strings? And it does combo on counter hit. According to this, it's, the second hit is a high, huh? I didn't really see it because it's moving too fast. Yeah, that second hit's high. It's another one of those that doesn't look like it should be a high, but it is a high. But it is negative 4 on block. So you might notice a common theme here, and this is a thing that happens frequently in Tekken. A lot of really strong moves that are safe on block, like multi-hit moves, you'll see fairly often that the second hit will be high. For example, Katarina has a down forward 2-4 that is plus 1 on block, causes tailspin on launch, corkscrew, whatever, causes a spin out on hit, and is plus 1 on block. But the second hit is a high. That's down forward 2-4 for Katarina. There's other examples like Dragunov's down forward 1-4, combos on counter hit. Doesn't combo on normal hit, but it is safe on block, but it is a high, the second kick, and you can duck it. Dragunov's back plus 4-3, back 4 and then 3, 2-hit string is mid-high, safe on block with a little bit of pushback, combos on normal hit, but it is mid-high, you could duck the second hit. That's gonna be a thing you'll see commonly. So if you're like, oh, this move is bullshit, like why is it like safe on block? Just double check if there's a high in there. You'll be surprised sometimes. So that's the case here. It says negative 4. I know how you could test that. Wow, that almost looked like it was a string. How naturally that animation went into the jab. Right? Oh, we can turn it on. That's 14 frames I just exchanged with. That looks cool, because that's not a string according to this. So, but he naturally animates the transition. He's like turning sideways with the shoulder, and then he just goes right into the jab. That looks cool in my opinion. More characters should animate like that. Right? Look at that. It looks so cool. Alright. Unless that is on the move list. I don't know. Is that on the move list? Forward. Yeah, see? It's just forward, forward, forward too. So it's not on the move list. Interesting. Alright. Forward, forward, 1+2. So this causes the crumple stun just like the down forward 4. What? Sorry, down forward 3, 1+2. So it looks like it's the same thing, but he's gonna set that forward, forward. Advancing move. So if it doesn't track naturally, it'll gain a little bit of tracking. Yeah. Just from being a forward, forward move. And it starts circles on normal hit, and just like the other version, it's very unsafe on block. Yeah, launch punish. And just like off of the string, he gets the follow-up, which is a high. So we're talking about the same business here. Is he going to do the high? Is he not? You would have to duck the high. Just like before, you're probably going to be able to interrupt it, right? Nope. Just in case that was a crush. Alright. Oh yeah, of course, it's high. What the fuck am I talking about? 12 frame mid, just in case. Yeah, no. And then, okay, so now we got the while running. So, in case you don't know, in Tekken, pretty much the whole cast has a move out of their run that is heavy plus frames on block. For a lot of characters, it's while running 3. For Gigas, it appears to be while running 2. And then sometimes they'll have their unique quirks, like Claudio's is while running 2, but it's a high, and he goes into Starburst when he hits you. I don't think he goes into it on block. Gigas gets a mid. There's ways to do this kind of shit up close, which it might be harder. Ugh. Yeah, see? So, like, that's instant while running moves aren't exclusive to, like, Dragunov and King for Shining Wizard or Dragunov while running. So you can do any while running move instantly if you have the input down. His comes out much faster than, like, your average slash kick, which is, slash kick is what people call the generic while running 3, which is, like, this big-ass, like, jumping kick that gives a ton of frame advantage on block. Like, visually, you could see. Like, you see that animation, he's like, oh. In this case, according to this, hold on, I gotta blow up there, sorry. According to RB Norway, this is +7 on block. I don't know how to test exactly +7, but I will. Is that force crouch? No, it just says a question mark, and it's saying it might have a variable frame data, which is interesting. I don't know if that's true. Whoops. Oh, I didn't record anything after. What am I doing? No, I want. Oh my god. I gotta align myself. My execution in general is really shitty on the 2-player side. I gotta work on that shit. Mash, mash, mash. Right? Interesting. It's because the input. Let's back it up. This is gonna be a weird thing to record. That's why I was trying to. Yeah, there you go. Now let's try. What else can I try? Do you have anything 17 frames? That's not a forward input. We have a lot of 16s here, but no 17. Well, let's try 16. He only has a 17 forward input, which is going to make this really awkward to record. So I'm going to just try this 16 frame move and see if it beats out a jab. Oh, that's what I'm trying to do actually. Well, let's turn this off and reset. Oh, what am I doing? I'm too close. Yeah, so definitely at least +7, if not +7 on the dot. Because the 16 frame move just beat out my jab clean. No exchange. So that's what's going on with that shoulder. Good moves, good moves. Now we go into the while standing moves. So while standing 1, 11 frames, -6 on block, +3 on hits. So it should exchange with the forward 2, right? Beat out clean, huh? Maybe I was slow. Whoops, I hit record again. Damn it. I'm like mashing too fast. Alright. Oh my god. That probably is, unless that forward 2 is actually 15 frames and this is wrong again. That probably is worse than -4, like it's saying here. It says -4, -6, I'm sorry. Yeah, -6. So it should exchange if that forward 2 is 16 frames. So either that forward 2 is actually 15 frames, or this is actually worse than -6. +3 apparently. So I can test that with the knee. I'm pretty sure the knee actually is +3. So excuse me, 13 frames. Oh, wrong button. Yep, +3. And it's a shoulder, so it cannot be countered. Are you taking notes, people? People leaving in droves over here. Did Ara start streaming? Wow, chat been going at it for a while here. Let's see. What's the best time learning Gigas? Nate plays a lot of characters. Blah 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 blah. 50-second load time. Blah blah blah. Resources. Yes, Tekken Zaibatsu is a good resource. Tekken Zaibatsu is a good resource. Rip's channel. I don't know if Rip's done any new videos. He probably will be if he hasn't already. So level up your game. Avoidingthepuddle.com, of course. Can I do Josie next time? Sure. It won't be today, but next time I will do Josie. It might be tomorrow. No, tomorrow? No, not tomorrow. I will commit to Josie on Tuesday. Tell you what. Tomorrow, I think I want to do something else. I haven't quite decided yet. Kazumi and Shaheen are on the list, just so you know. So far, what I did is I worked on Jin 2 days ago with my friend John, who I was streaming with yesterday, local sessions over here. And we went through most of Jin's good stuff. Not all of it, but most of it. Well, almost all of it. Let's say like 80% of it. Jin has a lot of really good stuff. And you want to see it, if you want to see it in actual matches, you could watch my stream from yesterday, my archive, and you'll see a lot of that shit. 214 is still the juice for Jin, man. Sets up a lot of his shit. And then the first thing I did was Katarina. Unfortunately, I did that on hitbox.tv, which is now Smashbox or some shit like that. So I don't have a Katarina stuff archived on YouTube. Nor did I found a way to download stuff off of Smashbox so I could upload it to my YouTube. So I might have to re-record Katarina stuff. And then I went through, yeah, that's pretty much all I've went through so far. And now I'm doing Gigas. So yeah, Kazumi, I think I might do Kazumi tomorrow now I think about it. Aris is live. What's a good thing I'm almost done. Because I had like 60 people, now I have 26 viewers. Sorry, I'm not as entertaining as Aris. I'm trying to help and be informative, but I don't have the high charisma stat. So, very sorry about that. 4th Green Day member, Susamaji. I'll check that out later. I did call him a Green Day member, so are you stealing my fucking jokes? I've been calling him that since I first saw his pictures. Alright, so let me focus back. I'm almost done here. After the while standing moves, we just got like one sidestep move here. We already went through the face down moves. Then we got the golem moves. the golem moves, which is the charge moves. Woo, he has one more golem option that I didn't even know about. Oh yeah, he could do the body splash from golem. Alright, so that's all that is, right? What is it? Yeah, which has the slow ass startup, so that's not, you're gonna interrupt that with jazz for sure. That's some gimmicky ass shit. Then he has down back 3+4. Yeah, that just goes into this pounce stance. SG. Standing golem? I don't know. And then he has that. Interesting. That goes back as far as back as Cornered Beast used to, but he has to commit to it. He recovers pretty quick when he lands. This might be alright. Might be. And some moves go into this. If you remember what I was going to before. Like, what is it? Yeah, see? Which means, yeah, this might actually be legit. At least people might have to commit to running at you to chase that down. That's interesting. That could be either really gimmicky or really good for against shitty players and okay for better players. Anyway, let me go back to where I was. So while standing 1 is 11 frames. Not too great on block, but safe. While standing 2, it looks like it should be the start of a string, because it is. Ooh, while standing 2. Is that a natural combo or normal hit? It is. That's a lot of damage too. And if I were to guess, this looks like it should track to his right. And that definitely wall splats. Get to the wall. Douche, 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 douche. Ugh. Yeah, man. That's good shit. It's risky, though. It's apparently negative 13 on block, according to this. So let's test that. Yeah. So nobody's going to be launching unless you're fighting a crazy good Kazuya player. But it is negative 13. And knocks down, yeah, we tested that already. Does the 3 by itself have any unique properties on counter hit? I'm going to guess no. Oh my god, this is going to be hard to test like this. Nah, same thing. Okay. Boosh. He has another follow-up, though. Ooh, this is one of those to go into the charge. This is one of the gimmicky ways to go into the charge, I guess, off of a string, rather than just going into it in the neutral. But does this combo on normal hit? No, it doesn't. That's way too big of a delay. So this might be your most effective way against a decent player, maybe, to go into this shit. Unless they could just sidestep both options. That's always a possibility. That kind of happens sometimes with these sorts of things. But, you know, boom, and then you get the run. Same as always. And then according to this, the kick is negative 14 on block without charge. Oop. And you might be able to interrupt that also. Yeah. Oh, 13 frame interrupts. Oh, this is bad for him. Holy shit. Without charging it, you can interrupt with up to 14 frames. Let me test 15 one more time. Never mind, 15 frame interrupt. Oh, man, not even an exchange, huh? Is back one not 15 frames? Is it just me being bad? I'm thinking this thing is lying to me because I beat him out with a 15 frame. But back one, which they said here was 15 frames, is complete. It's not even exchanging. I'm guessing this is like 17 frames then. Anyway, yeah, that's really bad. On block, it does push back on regular block, but that reached 14 frame reached punish. 15 ring did not punish. So I don't know about what I said about back one's frame data before, but it looks like it's not 15 frames. That's while standing 2-4. Full charge, same setups as all the other ones. While standing 3 is the launcher. -12 to -13, so it's a lot like Marduk's, minus the range. That looks so stupid. Marduk used to run forward a little bit more than he does. Oh my god, look at these fucking chicken legs. Oversized chicken legs. Jesus Christ. What is this? NRS animation he has on this shit. It looks like how you would like he looks like he's slipping on a fucking banana peel when he runs. And his foot just happens to reach your face. God damn. What is this character? Alright. According to this, -12 to -13 on block. That's 13. So maybe the pushback makes it 12. Yeah. This is one of similar to Marduk's if you space it well. And in Marduk's, if you were to block it off axis, that would fuck around with people's punishment too. Yeah, so. Yeah, see? He blocked it. And the reason I know this is Marduk's used to have a setup to set up people teching and blocking it sideways, which would make it relatively safe. But the jab will probably still punish it. Ooh, it doesn't quite have that good of a hitbox. Yeah, so the jab will, at least for Gigas, the jab will punish it regardless, but it does lose the 13 frame punish. Interesting. While standing 4, this is the one I noticed started to juggle some counter hit. It's just like Marduk's on normal hit. It flips him around and keeps him right in front of you, which means you could we could follow up with, like, if they don't tech, they could get a stomp in. If they don't tech, you could go into this. If they stay down, you got the down 3, and then eventually they're gonna start teching. Because yes, you could tech that knockdown, which is, and then it's just a matter of finding things to, like, ways to set up that tech. Like usually when in Tekken, when a character techs, as long as you time your dash up follow up well, you could essentially get a true 50-50 because they will not be able to sidestep. Like as long as you stick your button out at the correct timing. You know, you don't want to do it too early. You want to, like, yeah, so you want to time it, get a little delay. The thing is, to catch techs, you have to delay your follow-up. So that's what the real guessing game is. It's just like any delayed follow-up in any other fighter. You know, delayed tech works the same way. Except it's in other fighters you would delay your tech to throw off timing. Here, you're teching right away to throw off their timing. And that's why it's important to have shit like that, like knocks them down hard, like, I don't know, fucking. This is why people will use shit like this. Wow, it does break floor break. And then see, hard knockdown. He's unable to tech. That's why you get spikes. That's what people usually call that. And I just verified the up forward one elbow does break the floor. Remember, I was curious about that earlier. And in case you didn't notice, that second floor was breakable, but they only allow one floor break per, like, juggle state. Per air state, whatever you want to call that state. Otherwise, it would just be breaking 3 floors back to back to continue a juggle, and it would cause all sorts of fucking crazy shit. Like, Lily had some BS before they nerfed it in the earlier arcade versions. So that's the while standing moves. Oh, sorry, I didn't really test the punish. It's -12 according to this. And I did verify before that on counter hit, it did cause a juggle. Sorry. So that's one unfortunate thing. I guess in the trade-off for them making it cause a juggle on counter hit, they made it unsafe. Marduk's was safe. Oops. Wait, I didn't. Oh, that's why. Wow, nice pushback. Most characters won't be punishing this, I think. You basically got the tip of Gigas' jab range, which means most characters ain't punishing that shit. I don't have a way to test -12 or 11, so I cannot verify that much. I will tell you this though, with that kind of pushback, whatever your 11 or 12 frame punish is, you better have some serious range on it to punish that shit. Oh. And then... Oh, that was not it, was it? There it is. It did cause that sort of knockdown from Marduk also on counter hit, but I'm making this assumption that Gigas could pick up off of that. I don't know if I'm right. Maybe not. Maybe that's guaranteed. I don't know. Let's find out. So he might need a floor break to combo, maybe. Whew. He's in practice with Gigas too? That timing. That's why everybody went over there. Let's look at the actual pro player go through Gigas. Maybe he'll notice some stuff that I didn't notice. That'll be interesting to see. Interesting. So he needs that second punch to ground break. So he doesn't even get the ground break in a situation. And I'm able to tech out of the second punch in this situation. That's interesting. Because before I wasn't able to tech out of it. See? Am I just not mashing fast enough? Is that what's going on here? He's not doing it anymore for some reason. Yeah, you just gotta mash fast enough you can escape that. Interesting. So let me test this again then. Oh, that's stupid of me. I gotta let myself get hit by the first hit. No, I did it again. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so if you use it as an Oki too, it seems like you're unable to tech. But in that, for that specific situation, maybe if you delay it, it would have worked. Nah. Yeah, I'm trying to delay it as much as I can to see if it So it's not. That's not a great follow-up. I would do the stomp, maybe the the back four stomp. Maybe that'll work. Nah, that did combo, but it didn't floor break. I think that combo, but it didn't floor break. I would just do that stomp to keep them right in front of me. Maybe that L4-2 did give more damage. That actually might be a better combo. But it might just be Gigas because he's top heavy. That might not work. This looks like it hits grounded. Huh. Let's turn off stand. Oh boy. Oh, that combo. We don't want that. So, no, this does not hit grounded. Oh boy, okay, this is one of those weird ones. This is one of those you gotta be at a good angle to hit grounded. Yeah, see? And this also might be like a size dependent thing. You see like at certain angles, it just whiffs. 3D hitboxes, you can visually see the elbow stopping right in front of his fucking 10-pack right there, the stomach. This is just one of those Tekken things, man. You gotta like... Anytime you're looking for your mids that hit ground, that's not like a stomp. You know, not like this, not like that. You want to check, you know, if it's the one that weird shit like this, you want to check it at all angles. This kind of stuff matters. And you want to test it against multiple characters. At a bottom, you just died before reaching it. Although, it did break the floor. So that's interesting if they stay down. And this also might just whiff on everybody that's not Gigas. It might not whiff on bears, if I were to guess. Alright, what do I have left? Alright, he has a unique full crouch move. So that's what I was standing for. That pushback makes it hard to punish. Counter hit, it gives some stuff. It might give a full juggle that I don't know about, but according to this, this is supposed to be a move, and apparently it's not. So I don't know what the fuck it's talking about. Full crouch down forward 2 is not a move. There it is. Why did it not come out? Why is it being so weird right now? It's being kind of weird for me right now. It just might be my stick. Yeah, look at this. I'm not moving the stick at all, and sometimes it's just not coming out. Weird. Anyway, that's full crouch down forward 2. Knock down low. Let's see what this move is all about here. According to this, it is -17 on block. That is awful. Record. Yeah, that's really bad. I don't know if that gives him a juggle. It looks like it should give him something. Yeah, he gets something at least. For it to be that shitty on, you know, I would hope so. For it to be that shitty on block, maybe the shoulder. He's got to be able to pick up with something. He might have to be a cross cancel. If I delay the shoulder, maybe? Maybe off axis? There you go. So if he's all in this specific matchup, at least, this might, you know, this would have to be, if you're a Gigas player, you'd have to test this on like pretty much the whole cast, I think. That's fucking weird. He might have a better pickup. That breaks the floor. So that's an easy pickup if you got a floor break. What else could he possibly pick up with? Bloodhog, do you happen to know any better pickup with that thing? Down back 4 while standing 1. Okay, works on everyone. Yeah. So I have to crouch cancel to down back 4, right? Or is it just a generic down back 4? Oh, what am I doing? Down back 4. So yeah, it looks like you're talking about this down back 4, right? The crouch cancel one, right? Okay, yeah. So he has to do the dragon off, basically. Tap up to crouch cancel, and then down back 4. And according to Bloodhawk right here, there's a combo, and that should floor break. Nothing better? No way to, like, down forward 2 on them? Damn, I wish he got more. Even though I'm not a Gigas player, for that much risk, I suppose it does. Do you really count this as a full cross mix-up? It's so slow. Wow, why did it come out so slow? That was weird. Oh, I know why. Yeah, nah, nothing. On Biggs, you could do down forward 2 on that thing. Huh. It also might be just an angle thing. I'm pretty sure this is my stick. I'm using a Korean stick, so it's no square gate. What am I doing? I gotta reset. I keep doing down back 3. My brain is like fucked up. The fucking while standing 1 whiff there. Yeah. That shit just whiffs when he's off axis, which is also good to know. At least in this specific matchup. Ah! Cross cancel, down back 4, you idiot. Maybe on Kuma. Kuma gets hit by all sorts of stupid shit. Either way it goes, a generic juggle when you're on axis, at least so far, is cross cancel, down back 4 while standing 1, down plus 3, 2. That thing, -17 on block. Alright, sidestep 2 is only unique sidestep move, according to this. Woo! Tech jump also? He does a little hop? That's a cool looking move. It does tailspin here. Nice, big, meaty, one-hit, high damage move. Does the same thing on counter hit. Yeah. Well, that looks like you should get a juggle, doesn't it? Yeah. Why does it say SCD? Oh, corkscrew. That's the symbolism for corkscrew. This is a juggle starter. Okay. I don't know why I wasn't noticing that before, but whatever. All right. Well, there you go. Whatever your juggle is. According to this, -12 on block. I'll test -10. Oh my god. Arcade stick. Oh my god. You even heard me slam the buttons. What the fuck? I'm pressing 1. That's why. Sidestep 2, not 1 plus 2. Jesus Christ. This is what happens when you go with very little eating and you try to do all this shit. Right? That is such a huge wind-up. Holy shit. And he really pushes you back with that shit. Whee! That probably wall splats from mad far away if I already guess. Look at that. He gets a high wall splat in that range too. Yo, he goes fucking flying, man. He really winds that up. That's probably his coolest looking animation in my opinion. So at least -10. It says here -12. It doesn't appear to push back much, and even if it did, he's flying forward towards you. It does say tech jump, but as far as the reliability of that, low crushing, let's see. Hell no, that shit, like, it's in the middle of it, basically, after that huge-ass wind-up. Yeah, nah. Let me try delay it. It just beats me out. I gotta... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's, like, a really tiny window. Yeah, so maybe you jab him out of it, though. Whoa, wow, that shit went under. So I accidentally found out that it's a high crush. Maybe it's just his leaning back that fucked me up. Oh, Gigas. So, there you go. So that leaning back, it's not quite a high crush. Maybe on characters with regular jab range, it'll be a lot more consistently lean away from jabs. It doesn't appear to be... I'm trying to look if there's any window where he gets knocked into the air, which is a hard thing to do. I don't know, because it says tech jump here. Oh, man. Well, if there is one, I'm not finding it. Yeah. If there is one, maybe if you wait back here? Is that what we're getting at here? Nah, not quite. Oh. I mean, he is jumping. 1, 2. Yeah, I can't find it. I can't find that window. Visually, you can see he's doing a little hop. Alright, now we got the golem stuff. Which I already went over before, so... He could do it in a neutral too, so... You already know. Unblockable high, plus on block mid. And how much plus on block? +7 on block according to this. Or he could go into the stupid jump. He needs to take 3 steps, looks like. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so he needs to take a minimum of 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. He could do it 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 steps. So as early as the 3rd step, or you know, the 4th step. Yeah. And then SG, whatever that means, standing golem, stand guard or some shit. Football stands, 3-point stands, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He gets the hop back. Whee! And I wanted to test one thing with this. How good is this really? I gotta up back. The mid is probably gonna hit him. How fast do I have to be? So it's one of those things where if you're looking for it, well, Gigas doesn't have normal range, so it's one of those things where if you're looking for it, you might be too late. Right? Like if I were to just wait and see if he's gonna go down, it feels like I'm doing it too late. So you're like, oh, when I visually confirm. And even then, when I am hitting him, it is a Gigas not forward 1. That's a lot of range. So most characters might not quite. So there might be some usage for this. I don't know how great it is. It could cause, like, you know, like if he were to do it and I were to just whiff this, he's not gonna punish it. Like I'll do it and I'll match jab. Yeah, he's not gonna punish like a single whiff off of that. So I don't know if it's worth the risk. You know. Let me hold back this time. Yeah, see? People would have to confirm. People would have to commit to something pretty heavy for that to actually get you a whiff punish. And if it's not going to get you a whiff punish, then why the fuck are you going to use it? Other than to be, like, gimmicky and then be like, hey, come chase me down with a dash after I do a 2-1. And then the next time you do 2-1 and then, like, a launcher. Like, you know? I don't know. Maybe somebody smarter than me could figure something out with that. Let me look at chat. How Gigas is Gigas? He seems pretty ass. Well, that's what I'm saying, Chart. You visually see he jumps right there. He's like spinning on his left foot. His right foot? His left foot, maybe? So, I don't know. Maybe they just see the animation and they're putting, oh, tech jump. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But you could clearly see I was unable to hit him floating. So, I don't know why it says TJ. Anyway. So that SG shit. Oh, well, okay. I guess the hop back would cause hesitation to press buttons against his built-in moves out of that. I guess that's another thing. But damn, that nowhere near as good as Marduk's VTS stance. I can't help but keep comparing him to Marduk. So he has that launcher, which according to this is +5 on block. What? What? I better test that. And then he has this mid. It's +5 on block? What? What? Oop, wrong button. Down back? It's down back. Oh, that's that high move off of that string. Oh, I ain't jab after it. Sorry. Get out of that. Wait, launcher afterwards, right? Oh my god, I gotta down back 4. I'm trying to press down back 3 +4. Buffer. No, that's not 15 frames. Do down 2 instead. Yes, 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 yes. That's +5, okay. So the other one was plus also, if I recall right? That's pretty good. And it's a launcher on normal hit. This is going to be a gimmick. 2-1 into that shit is going to be fucking gimmick city. Especially since I'm gonna guess that it crushes jabs really well. If I were to go right into it, let's see. Gimmick City right there. Even if I try 1-2, he's gonna interrupt it. There you go. You want your ultimate Gigas gimmick right there. In my opinion, that is fucking it. Because then they block it. They're like, oh, next time, first they're going to get hit by it for jabbing. Maybe they'll get hit by it a second time when they jab. Then they're like, all right, I'm going to block this now. Then they're going to block it, and they're going to stand block because it's like a fucking shoulder, not knowing that it's a high. And then they're going to press something, and you're going to fucking down one them. And even if you exchange with a jab, you're still going to get a juggle. That's fucking Gimmick City right there, man. I hope Aris finds that out. And then he has the other one, the mid-shoulder, which is actually only -5 on block according to this. Let's test that. So now I'm going to record him doing the shoulder and then him jabbing. Yep, -5 on block. There you have it, folks. That's pretty much it as far as his regular move list goes. So, yeah, you could do some funky Yoshi-style, semi-gimmicky, semi-legit stuff with this into that stance, and maybe other moves, whatever other moves go into that stance. Right? That kind of looks cool when he takes that pose. I admit it. That kind of looks cool right there. What's Jack looking like? What's up, Vince? Lee is hard to play because optimizing Lee stuff is hard to execute. He has some awkward execution. For example, Lee has one of those characters with a full crouch mix-up because he has the full crouch slide. What is a full crouch mix-up? It means anytime you make the opponent visually see you're in a slide, you're essentially putting them in a 50-50 of sorts between a strong mid, usually a launching mid, and a strong low. So the thing about slides, which is a universal term, well, anything, you call anything a slide, but when people say slide, in the case of Law, for example, Lee has Law slide, it's a unique input for full crouching when you go full crouch, down towards +3. So, like, visually, so you see I'm pressing it down now, it'll be like this, although my inputs are sloppy, so I can't record it clean. Something like that. Whatever. When you input that slide, you'll see he kind of flies forward and clips their legs and knocks them down. That, and has a ton of range, so you could do it from, you could threaten with that kind of mix-up from like this distance. In the case of like Law and Lee, because they have the space to cover it. So the slide's an awkward input to use in general. That's just one aspect. Then Lee has shit like missteps. He has there's some shortcuts to make some of his shit like back to misstep, whatever, for his juggles and shit like that. And there are some shortcuts to make some of his stuff easier, but you know, you're a new player coming from KOF. I know you came from KOF, Vince. You know, or if you're coming from Street Fighter. If you're not used to Tekken stuff already, then just picking up Lee off the bat, there's going to be some awkward looking, some awkward to execute stuff. Those trees up in the background, they look really nice. The sky looks really nice too. Oh, somebody got permanently banned. K2C Devin got banned from this channel. I don't know who banned him. Do I know how to play Lee any? I only know a few things about Lee. I wouldn't say I know how to play Lee. I'm just about done with, just a prank, bro. Okay. I'm just about done with Gigas after I look through his grabs real quick here. For now, at least. I haven't tested his tracking. I'm gonna say that for another time because it's like running late over here. Yeah, it's 10:39. I do have to get some stuff done before work. I go to sleep for work tomorrow. So I'll tell you what. I'll go through his grabs, and then I'll show you a couple of things that I know about Lee. But I wouldn't call myself a Lee expert, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me see. Down forward, down forward. I already went through this stuff. Basic moves, same shit. Yeah, that's his regular command list. I don't know if he has a normal unblockable. Here's what his 10 hit looks like. Low on the 6 hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Low on the 6 hit, and it's his only 10 hit. Low on the 6 hit, and then high on the 3rd and 4th hit. Duck the high or low parry the low. There you go. That's how you beat that 10 hit. One, two, three. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, in the case of Gigas, you might want to wait for the 4th hit to whiff. Let's see, if you block the 3rd hit, does the... Yeah, okay, if you block the 3rd hit, the other high jails. I just accidentally sidestepped around the low. Yeah, that's a shitty ass 10 hit. Alright. Everybody's gotta have a 10 hit though, because it's Tekken, right? Alright, so we have... Unfortunately, he does not have any command grabs for 1 break and 2 breaks, so you're stuck with the generic 1 break and a 2 break throws here. And he has an air grab. So his regular throws, that's a hard knockdown if I were to guess. Yeah, it is. So this might give him a good Oki. That's a cool looking throw in my opinion. Oh, he recovers really slow. I would go for this maybe. They could probably back that shit away. Yeah, it's this really stupid looking throw. God, that looks so stupid. Alright, how fast does he recover? Yeah, nah, they're already up by the time he gets close. So you would have to commit to something long range. That's not gonna work. And then he, of course, has... that shit. Which is not gonna give you any real Oki. Maybe it gives you the run, if you try that, but I don't think he's gonna cover that much distance, and they're gonna see it coming. Let's reset into wall. Where am I going? So one of the things in the earliest version of the game is this did like half-life. Let's see how much it does here. If you slam him into the wall. Yeah, not quite half-life. Does he get any free follow-ups? Nope. It looks like they're already standing by the time they can attack. Yeah, so no free follow-ups. They could tech, and if they tech, they're off to your side. Keep that in mind. Now one more thing to go through. So this is interesting. Air throws, for the most part, I don't know if there's any from what I recall, they were not affected by juggle scaling in the older games. Like Marduk, for example, that used to be his wall throw only, and they would always do 100% damage, which was like 35 damage, I think, in Tekken Tag 2. Here, Gigas' air throw is affected by scaling. I think the same thing happens for King, too. Before, King's was not affected. See? It's affected by the scaling. It just has naturally really high damage. Like at 70%, he's doing 42 damage. Let's see what that's like at the wall. Oops. I should be wall splatting. What can I wall splat him with? No, was it 2-4? No, it was 2-3. It doesn't even hit the wall like it did from Marduk. That's interesting. You might get good Oki off of it. Like, yeah, you see they're in the process of getting up. They can't tech. You might be able to set something up with this if you do some exploring. Whatever. Is that better than a proper wall throw for him? I don't know. 74 damage? Probably not. No, it's 1+2. Yeah, it might be, but that might get better wake up. Like, yeah. It doesn't even hit the floor hard. It's like, I just give it some impact when he fucking pancakes them on the floor. It looks so lame. Remember how cool that shit looked from Marduk when he just bam pancaked you into the fucking wall? Either way it goes, that's Gigas in a nutshell right now. If you want a unique character who's probably going to be really shitty in the long run, you can have some fun with Gigas. Alright, well anyway, I'm going to end it there. I'll end the Gigas part for there for now. I'm going to, sometime in the future, come back and pick a different character and record Gigas moves and test like sidestepping around them. But like I promised, first I'm going to show off some Lee stuff. Some real basic ass Lee shit. So when it comes to just about everybody Tekken, I mentioned this earlier in the stream, I'm a big proponent of like the first thing you should look for. You know, you got the jab. The first thing you should look for to go with the jab is their best mid poke, 1 or 2, and their best low poke, 1 or 2. Some characters only have 1 really good low poke, maybe, but I think Lee's low pokes are kind of high risk, if I recall right. Let me just pull up his frame data here real quick to see what this shit says. Lee Chaolan. I like this music a lot. I think this is really grown on me to be my favorite song from this game. I'm gonna higher the volume. Couple things about Lee. Like I said, he has a jab like anybody else. 10 frames plus 1 on block, right? Unique jab strings. Let me the fall position. That's his 10 frame jab block punish. 1, 2, 4 without the delay because he could charge the 4. So the thing about 1, 2, 4 is from before, if you just did it in the neutral, it was unsafe unless you charged it, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that here. Right? Yeah, there you go. At least -10, right? Yeah, worse than that. That's a 12 frame punish. Forward 4-3. It's a 12 frame punish. Really good damage. A really good move in the neutral in general. So remember that. 1, 2, 4. So the thing about that string though is, like I said, you could charge it. If you charge it, you get like a nice little heavy damage. If they get counter hit by the last kick. Wow, they changed it, or is it because he was off axis? Nope. Okay, as long as you're on axis, you get a counter hit juggle starter. I don't know what the juggle is, but know that it's there. Know that you're going to want to learn that eventually. This is probably going to be the pickup, if I were to guess. Just, yeah, see? And then you do whatever that odd angle juggle is or something. I don't think he gets that without the charge, though, just to be sure here. Right? Oh, he does get it without the charge. I'm sorry. So he gets it regardless. The thing that the charge does is it makes the frame data vary. I don't know if it ever puts him at frame advantage, but it doesn't make it safe. Just to check. I think it might be +1. Oh, I ain't jab after. I'm sorry. Okay, no. It makes it safe, though. And it's just that delay is there to make it safe, and it causes that hesitation, so it sets up the counter hit. The cool thing about when you have that sort of thing attached to your jabs is it makes that extra hesitation anytime you do a 1-2 in the neutral. Anytime. It makes 1-2 stronger because they're going to be afraid of this hitting them, and on counter hit gives them a juggle. And like I showed you, without the delay, it's actually not that bad. -12 is not the end of the world, depending on how much life you have, if you want to take that risk. And if you don't want to take that risk, you can always add that, you know, hesitation. Delay. You could delay it a little bit, or you can delay it a lot. And that's going to make the frame data vary. Another thing about Lee, I talked about the full slide, right? The full cross slide. I'm going to try it now. See? That's and I think you get that wake up low 3 for free, if I'm not mistaken. If not, you just get Gadoki. And this is something you're going to want to practice as Lee. Because then what ends up happening is anytime people see you duck, you could open them up for that. And it's the Tekken 3 juggle, which is really hard to fucking do. The Tekken 6 juggle, I'm sorry. Which is really hard to do. He used to, in Tekken Tag 2, he had a full juggle off for that. Here, he only gets a forward 3, which is really fucking hard to do. If I could actually get it once, let's see. Wow. It might be because I'm not close enough. Yeah, this is really hard to do. You have to, like, the moment he recovers, forward 3. There you go. See how hard that shit is to do? So, and then if you want a full launch, he can hop kick from crouching. The problem is, that's up 4 from crouching. That's a unique move. So you have to do some sort of, usually, like, if characters don't have a full crouch up move, because that law has that too, you're able to just do a hop kick naturally from crouching as up forward 4. Lee has to do some funky shit. Though that is still a launcher, the frames are different. Like, I don't know how different it is. Full crouch, control F, FC. FC up 4. Yeah, that's launch punishable on block. I don't even know how I did it. I just did it. You just saw it. Full crouch, I did the hop kick. There's like, you know, if Bloodhawk is still in the chat, he might know. So that's another weird thing about Lee specifically, right? His lows are pretty safe. I don't know about that. The good lows aren't. So Lee has a really good down forward 1. He has a pretty good backdash. He's like a skinny character too, so I think he has an above average sidestep. And in general, from this range, he could be pretty evasive because he could go into like Hitman. How you going to Hitman? Is it back, down? No. How are you going to Hitman? Back 1+2? No, that's the counter. 3+4. So Hitman from this, Hitman 2. This is the shit right here. This is the juice. When you're far away, like one backdash or like maybe a backdash and a half away, this shit becomes extra evasive, like super evasive. Especially if you sidestep right into it. It's quite obnoxious, and it's a juggle starter. So that's the shit about Hitman, and he could sidestep during Hitman too. You know? And look at that, like he's taunting you to come because it's designed to make you come and get blown up for coming at him. You can fucking get hit by that shit. Fuck that stance. That stance has a lot more going on. I don't know about it all. The juggle shit I was talking about was back 2 forward. You're supposed to be able to do this shit several times during his juggles. And he also has a trick, it's already awkward enough just to get him to do the step. There it is. I'm having trouble just having him do the step. It's not something, like a lot of situations where when they say input something and then hold forward, you could just hold forward way early and you'll do it as soon as possible. That's not the case for this. You have to time the forward input. Which is like, I'm making it sound like it's the hardest thing in the world. It's not. It's just, it's awkward if you're new to this sort of shit. Like, I never played a character that had to do this kind of shit. So you see how much trouble I'm having? You have to grind this shit out to get his most optimized juggles, basically. I know it's hit forward after the back, so you just have to time it. See? I'm having a lot of trouble with it, clearly. And this is one of those things that when you practice it for a while, you'll never fuck it up. But you have to put that time in. If you're going to be a Elite player, right? And then when you do, you also have to learn misstep into while standing. Because the thing is, the wall carry, or excuse me, the corkscrew that a lot of Elite players use is while standing that, which is actually wall carry. It ain't corkscrew there. Yeah, it doesn't corkscrew, but that's the wall carry. That's they'll end their wall carry juggle with that, sends them flying, and then he gets a high wall splat, and that's how he gets his crazy wall damage. So that's another thing about Lee, which is you have to learn to cancel eventually. The cancel, which I can't even fucking do. It's an instant while standing 2-3, which Bloodhawk mentioned in the Discord the other day that there's a shortcut for doing it, which I'm not able to do. gonna be some shit like that. There's a way to do it more naturally. How do you do instant while standing 2-3 in the juggle? That's the thing I'm saying, Vince. I'm not a Elite player. I don't know. I just know it's possible, and you have to learn that shit eventually. Yeah, back neutral. The thing is, I can't even do the back 2 misstep, so you're gonna have to ask like a proper Elite player to help you time this. But know that I'm letting you know that that's there, so you're gonna want to learn that eventually. As far as this basic Lee shit goes, even without the crazy execution, the jab string's really good. Down forward 1, really fucking good mid poke. -1, 13 frames on block. And then he has a good high crushing low. He has the generic high crushing low from standing. Down 4, which is going to be like 12 frames. No, sorry, that's not generic. His is unique because he has down 4, 4, 4, 4. Down 3 though is good. On counter hit, he gets that shit. But the thing is, that's -15 if I'm not mistaken. Maybe worse. Yeah, -15. But he can go into Hitman out of that, right? Yeah. I don't think that's going to affect the frame data. Ugh. If I still see the word punish come up, that's not going to affect the frame data. Still see punish, so that doesn't affect the frame data. It is +7 on hit. Forward 4 is 11 frames, I thought it was 12 frames. Anyway. So down 3 is just a really good tool, low poke to use in coordination with jab and down forward 1. Because you do this a couple of times, to interrupt that, people have to jab, typically. And the 12 frame mid will exchange. But for the most part, a high is the only thing that's going to interrupt you doing this back to back. And when they do the high, you do down 3. That's basically how that works. And you will go under the high. So you'll see, like, for example, if I record this lead doing... See? See? Doesn't matter what high I do, he's gonna go under it. And if I try to do the string, I get counter hit. If you try to do a 1-2 instead of just a 1, he gets the counter hit, which gives him a free Hitman sweep, I think. If you go to Hitman after it, he gets, no, what is the Hitman? 4. He gets that for free, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I think that's guaranteed in that situation. Yeah, Lee has the... Alright, that's the generic Tekken flowchart. The generic Tekken flowchart is jab, mid that's safe on block, that's typically low in the negative frames. Not everybody has this, but a lot of characters do. Like, we're talking about -2 at worst, right? If you have a mid, even if it's slower than 13 frames. And then it sets up you being able to duck jabs. The thing is, if you have a slower mid poke than 13 frames, like a 14 frame mid poke, and it puts you in -2 or worse, you're gonna have to start to worry about 12 frame mids, which are rare, but they'll beat you out from standing. Obviously, while standing, 12 frame mids are not rare, but neutral standing, 12 frame mids are gonna beat you out, and 13 frames will exchange. That's when you're gonna have to, instead of working in ducking and crushing, you have to work in sidestepping instead. That's how the Tekken flowchart goes. The Tekken flowchart is like the KOF flowchart, where there's multiple options. There's not just one option. Alright? So the thing is, Lee, because he has this only at -1, and this good high crush, low, that's risky, but it's good. It's still a really good low. He gets that as an extra option to his flowchart. He could still down forward 1 sidestep. He doesn't have to commit to the low crush. And if you jab in that situation... sorry. For example, right? Oh, sorry. I should do this the other way. Let me reset the stage. I mean, this goes without saying, but I'm going to show it anyway, right? Excuse me. Bad sidestep. Let Let me go the other direction in this case then. It could just be my sidestep timing is bad, but... See? You could always sidestep. And on hit, it's like really good too. Right? Alright. So there's more going on here. Another good thing that Lee has, assuming it's still like this. Let's test, just before I say anything more. This is the classic Lee, ever since Tekken 6, maybe earlier. So the damage doesn't look as high as it used to be. This is one of the most threatening 10-frame counter hit tools in the game. 2-2-3. On block, I think it's only -10, but the last hit is high. The second hit, if by itself, is -13 on block, and it is counter hit confirmable. Because you could do it really slow. And even if they were to block, you could like delay that third hit. Right, and just to show you, just the second hit. Punish. Okay, so it's not -10. Oops. Punish, okay. So, let's go back to that flow chart of jab, down forward 1, down 3. People think you're gonna down 3, they decide hop kick. What happens if they decide hop kick? Right? Let's say they think that's coming, right? Down forward 1 on block, it's a down 3. What happens if you do down forward 1? Oops. It's a 2-2-3. Oh, you got a tailspin. That's a buff to that move that he ain't had before. What happens if they think you're gonna go with the low again, and they're like, all right, let me do a mid, a 13-frame mid. Oh, that beat it out because 13, even though he's at -2, excuse me, he's at -1, the jab is still 10 frames. I'm doing a 13-frame mid. He just beat me out. But the risk is there, right? That is the Lee has a very strong version of the generic poking flowchart, and it is high risk at high levels of play, not a risk at low levels of play. Nobody's gonna be duck launching that shit at low levels of play. So maybe don't get too crazy with that 2-2-3, but that is a very strong tool, very fucking strong. What else am I forgetting? In the neutral, forward 4-3 is really good. You could delay that second hit, and it is safe on block, and that second hit, you see, has a ton of fucking range, right? On counter hit, that second hit by itself starts juggles. Whatever his juggle is. Right? And then it's a jabs, or whatever the fuck it is, right? Learn that juggle, right? That's what you want to do. And even if you need an easy juggle, you can just run up into jabs and do whatever. Jab, you know. I just did it by accident. You saw it, right? I did the misstep into while standing too. Starting to get it down, huh? Let me not get too crazy with that now. That's one of those things where it's addicting to practice, like repetition like that in Tekken always. I don't know. Alright, I got kind of a headache. So yeah, that's like some basic Lee shit. Remember the slide, the full crouch slide. Mix up the slide with whatever mid, right? Remember the 2-2-3 jab, down forward 1, down 3 pressure. He has another good low poke. What is it? Oh, that's blazing kick. Wow, I'm doing that by accident. Korean stick, fuck it. Down back 3. That's a good plus on hit low. How bad is it on block? I don't remember. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if he has any 13 frame. It's at least 11, negative 11. It's not negative 15 though. So one thing, I mentioned this earlier during the Gigas shit about Lee. He has a 10 frame while standing mid. Very rare. I think Lei was the only other one in the game that had... Oh, sorry, no, he wasn't. Brian still does have one depending on range. Marduk used to have one. But theirs was just like a little shitty uppercut. A 10 frame while standing move. While standing 3-3 is 10 frames, right? But I think he's at negative on hit. Let me jab after that. Yeah, he looks negative. Oh, let me get hit. Alright. Oh, it does force crouch. But as you see, I'm beating him clean. I beat him with the hop kick. So that's negative on hit, right? It might even be unsafe. Nah, it's not unsafe. I would see unsafe. Let me see. Yeah, it's not unsafe, but it's negative. It's heavy negative on hit. So the thing about that move is, like, he still has a generic while standing 4. So you don't have to, like, commit to the 10 frame. The thing about it is, generally, when you do the 10 frame one, you want to commit to the built-in follow-up, typically. Which is that, and that combos. If the low hits, that mid is going to combo, but that's where it ends. You can keep kicking, but it won't combo. Or, how do you do it? Forward 3? How you do the mid-high? Anybody know? There it is. So as you see, only the mid-high combos, right? So let's record. Low mid. Mid-high. So that's launch punishable if you have range, but it has pushback. That's the unfortunate thing. He gets that. Lee doesn't seem to have the reach to punish it with a launch. Maybe blazing kick? Not quite. Woo! Either way it goes, most of the cast could punish that somehow. A lot of them with a launcher. And then, this is duck. Safe on block, but you have to duck. Mid, high, or low mid. You also low parry the low. So basically, when you connect that while standing 3-3 at 10 frames, you could force that mix-up, but it is high risk against good players. Yeah, I'm not going to get too crazy with the just frame stuff. So that's another thing you want to know. His command grab 4-4-3+4. This is, that's not what I was trying to do. Wow, how do you do it? It's up. Oh, forward. I was trying to say before, that's guaranteed, and that floor breaks, I believe. See, it comboed. That's forward 3+4. It's a forward 3+4. Forward 3+4 to grab, and then forward 3+4. And that floor breaks and starts juggles, assuming it's like the way it used to be, so keep that in mind. I'm not going to be able to do that just frame shit. I never done the acid rain. I did 2 of the hits, not 3. I keep getting the mid, not the third hit, though. There it is. That right there is a just frame jab punish. 32 damage that wall splats. And isn't it? It's all a natural combo, isn't it? I should have fucking put this on. I'll try it one more time. There it is. Natural combo, normal hit. That right there is the best, outside of Akuma and Eliza with meter probably, that's the best 10 frame punisher in the game. Not an easy thing to do, my friend. That's what you call a just frame right there, and that is, you got to be like a Elite Loyalist to make that worth getting down consistently. Yeah, you have to input the first 1 and 3 really fast, one after the other. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. And then you have to, with a pattern, bop, bop, like really slow. Yeah, I just got it again by accident. So feel free to try and practice if you want. 1, 3. I got it, what, 3 times so far? I remember when Violet was in Tag 2, and then Aris was still streaming Tag 2. Somebody, I think it was Violet Chalon, bet Aris $20 that he couldn't get Acid Rain, which is like another variation of that, in one time out of his first 10 tries, and he got it like the second time. $20, man, and that man donated the $20. Another Lee move, good whiff punish, is forward 2-1. And that wall splats, but it's mid-high, it could be ducked, and it is -10. And just to show that off real quick. A lot like Armor Kings and Kings, which does push back. Whoops. So, it might be punishable in this situation. Where's the reset settings? So, put my back to the wall. Does it still push back? Nope. See? Punishable now. So, in the situation where it's the most rewarding, it becomes the most punishable. So, -10 on the dot, I think. On block, I said. Most punishable on block. It's always very punishable if you're looking for it. Duck, launch. Alright, and there's one more thing I'm going to talk about here before I call it for today. And I don't know how to input this, I just know he has it. That string, back 1, 1, 2. Oh, I did it by accident there. I just heard it. So you see how it connects. It's all a combo and it keeps him standing. High, mid, high. There's a just frame version where he screams in the ear and goes, whoa! And it makes a wall splat. I did it accidentally right before I paused it. There it is. And you get that big ass effect and it does a wall splat. And it has a ton of range. See, look at that. That's really good range. I think you can do it at a Hitman also. Whoops. Oh, his armor with wall splats. How do you Hitman? Yeah. Does he get it? Yeah, he could do it at a Hitman also. That it's still back 1, 1, 2. There it is. Really high damage wall splatting string. Well, I'm not pro. I'm definitely not pro. I've been playing Tekken for a while. I know more than my gameplay suggests. Let's put it that way. I get my ass handed to me quite a bit. All right, I'm gonna call it there. So I'll do more Lee exploring in the future because there's a lot to do, lot to study about Lee that I don't know. He has a lot going on. I just know some of the cheapest shit. Like he has a lot more cheap shit than that. I don't know about. But I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna host Aris or whatever. I hope that was a help to you guys. It's good to have some stuff on Gigas now out there. And now I know Aris is or was doing Gigas, so there's gonna be a lot of Gigas info for a lot of people to watch out there. Either way it goes, I'm heading out. Have a good night. Sayonara. Adios. Laters.